1, 2, chuffy, chuffy, 1, 2. Right, I got it right this time. Just flashing the Hey You to draw the attention. The old thumbnail when the people hover over. A bit of the old Hey You drawing the attention there. Start off with a bit of that. Check chuffy 1, 2. I'll check that you can hear me. I can hear you. Check the chuffy thumbnail 2. Yep. All good in the hood. Hello, Luke. Luke's already in chat. Pop out chat. Boom. Got my chat popped out so I can see that up in the corner there. Nice and spicy. And I'll do the little introduction. Hi, you're with Scott. It's Ganji Kid. I'm Gravekipper. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear. This is your left ear. And it's actually 17:15 on a Friday in the UK. 17:15 GMT. That's 5:15. Little couple of hours late on getting on stream because of some chuffing around in the house. No worries. The daylight is still shining, which affects the green screen technology. I can close the doors and pull the curtains, but the dog's just out there by the door and he's sleeping nicely by the door. So I don't want to lock him out, but it would lock out the light and then the green screen would work better. Doesn't matter. Don't get worked up about it. It doesn't matter. It's just a bit of green screen technology. It's not even green, is it? It's red. So what? Anyway, look. This is the Super Nintendo Switch. Here I am with my little face. Chat window capture should be on. Hello, where's chat? Is it that? Nope. Great, now I can't find where it is. Is that? Yeah, it's that. Brilliant. So we've got the Super Nintendo, we've got the chat. We're going to be playing this Japanese game, KUUKIYOMI 2, considerate, made in the new era of social distancing, I guess. Let's boot it up. Look, there we go. Hello, Luke. It's nice to have you here. It's got its own music. Hang on. And my face. My green screen technology. I'm losing part of my face. It's a game to test my manners. It's certainly going to test something. It's going to test my patience without music. The title is partially displayed in Japanese and English. Please enjoy Japanese culture. I'll tell you what, Luke, if this is going to test my manners, and I haven't got white lipstick on, it's just my lips are being, my face is being drained by the green screen technology. If it's going to test my manners, maybe we should just bin off the, hang on. Where's my filters? That's the web browser, apparently. Big face. Sony A7S. Filters. Just bin it off. Just turn it off. There you go. Super Nintendo Switch. And I need to work out, okay, fair play, L&R. I'll do L&R. But I need to work out if you've got a menu so that I can turn the music off. Don't know what's going here. I literally don't know what's happening here. It's got options there. Can't get to them. Oh, there we go. Right, options. Why is it written downwards like that? Why is it written up on the side? How to play and erase save data. That's it, they're your options. That's my... I'm going to do the stream in my head on the side like that. It's not going to work, is it? How to play and erase save data. They're my options. Alright. So forget that. Forget those options. I'm just going to turn the sound down there on the sound mixer for OBS. So it's just quiet. And we will bin off the background game sound of relaxing GameCube music instead. No worries. We can do that. And I suppose I put everything in the wrong place. You never know this with games. Where'd you put the stuff? I put it all over where I can see what's going on. I need to read down in traditional Japanese. It's nice they put this Japanese game. It's nice instead of just translating it and they've just put the Japanese on there. I like that. And of course, being British, I'm going to ace. If it's a manners thing, I'm going to absolutely ace it. 'Cause we've got good manners in Britain. I've been taught good manners. I've been bullied into discipline. But I need to move my A7S my face, right? Just for a minute. I'm going to go over here. Chuffer. And I need to pop another filter on now. I need to pop an effect. Oh, no, I don't. Hang on, close that. I need to just transform my face. Edit, transform. And I'll remember this from last time. Brilliant. That one, that's nearly there. Like I'm able to read it better now because I'm upside down, but that's not quite what we're looking for. So edit, transform. I've forgotten which one it was. That one. Okay, there we go. Chat's going over there as well. Okay, let's have my chat. Boom, that's over there as well. Right, now we can see a bit better, can't we? Consider it, quick consider it together and options. So I'd like to play a bit of co-op. I could get my sister involved. I could get her around to do live couch co-op. But she's playing Elden Ring and I'm playing Considerate. So let's go ahead and consider it. Let's see what we get. This is a space where you are free to consider things as you like. There's no one here to stop you from being as considerate as you please. It's interesting. They didn't say as inconsiderate as you please. Because when there's no one there to stop you, you might think, oh, well, you know, the CCTV's off. Let's jump about in the lift. But elevator, if you're in America. Let's jump about in the elevator. No, this is a space for you to consider being as considerate as you please. Fair enough. When considering the situation, move the red object. Sometimes there may be nothing to move. Just do what you consider the appropriate action. If you wish to stop playing, just push the start button or the... Okay, I can deal with that. Very considerate, isn't it? If you wish to... It's been considerate of my feelings there. If I wish to stop playing. Oh, hello. There's an announcement on the New Era name. And the New Era will be called Rewia. I've got the thing, Rewia. I'll just hold it over there so they can see it better. Was that it? Hang on. 9th car entrant. Me. Just moving aside for people. Is that... I'll just move aside for them. This is going quick. I thought we'd have time to pause and reflect and talk, and it's just happening. It's all wobbly as well. I quite like the fact it's all wobbly. I didn't expect this. What's going on? Everyone's trying... Oh, I've caught it. Oh, I'm in front of a kid. Give it to the kid. Can I hand it to the kid? Oh, I failed that one. Hang on. Wait. I've pressed... What now? What's happening? That happened quick as well. She went past. Number 5. Let's have a look at number 5 then. I'll do it. No, I'll do it. We need... I'm just pausing it there. We need time. And what does that say? You can reflect your answer when you see... Oh, okay. Because I was going to say we need time to reflect on what's going on, yeah. And we need time in the situation as well. It's happening quite quick in the situation. You sort of progress... Okay, good, thanks. The previous 5 questions. This... Hang on. Where's my coffee browser donation? That's got to go. Very vaguely considerate. That was... if I'd have known that there was a kid behind me, I saw everyone else with their hands up, and I thought, should I put my hand up as well or not? I didn't have time to think what was happening. But if I'd have known there was a kid behind me, what I'd have probably done is been like, oh, why don't you stand in front and you try and catch it? And, use them as a human shield in case the dangerous ball comes in. But no, actually, I would have given the ball to the child, just handed it to them after I'd caught it. Well done, you. Enjoy baseball. Have a nice day. So I got marked down for that, but I didn't do all my results. Look, didn't do all my results. It was just, let's eat ramen. Ramen, your salt. What? Now, it suggested salt a lot there. I didn't even make a choice. I don't know what happened. Thanks for the meal. Me. Those waiting for a seat, please form a line. I'm up. I'm away. I've finished. Let somebody else have the dinner. That was a simple one. Taught me a little something there. Get up and leave. Oh look, there's some thugs playing a dice game. What are they doing? They're gangsters. Here we go. Smart. Oh, they're having a picture taken. All right, I'll just out of the way. So there we go. It's polite to choose the shop speciality. Right, hang on. Hang on. I'm going to use... Oh, hang on. Mints. Mints. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, there's... Go on then, have your mints. Wait, I need to pause. I need to pause. I'm pressing the chuffing button, you chuffer. You won't let me pause. All right. Let's just reflect. I'm going to start reflecting on them one by one as they go past, because they're going past a little bit fast for me. And I do want to, like, just interrupt the game and reflect. So, like, giving someone a mint... Definitely going to be doing that. Oh, dog. Is that you, dog? Oh, the dog's made a smelly. I hope it's the dog, because there's only me and the dog here. And if it was me and I don't know, I'm in trouble. That's not very polite, dog. Is it? Making a big smelly like that. Oh God, dog. Oh God, that's not very polite. So it's polite to choose the shop's speciality. They got all the signs out. That's like, what if you don't like it? I'm not having that, right? I'm not having that. Okay, might do a big review. Well, I'm going to do a mini review along the way because, you know, this is how I roll. The shop's speciality. I'm not having that, right? They've got their speciality. Usually, and this is little insider knowledge, when I was a chef, if you work somewhere and you have a speciality, it means you're churning out loads of them. Yeah, there's that. You're churning out loads of them. Or you could have a specials board where something's cheap today, like the fish man comes round and he's like, I'm vegan, so I don't eat fish. But the fish man comes around and he's like, I've got these 2 cod, they're going to go off. Do you want them going cheap? And you're like, yeah, I'll sell them today. I'll put them on the specials menu. So the specials is stuff that was like maybe going to go off or we need to get rid of it. Get it on the specials. Look special. You might sell. We've only got a small number of these. Special. And then another way they use the specials is if it's popular, we might put it on the menu. Might buy cod off you next time if it goes well. But you know what I mean? Like, so there's that. So I tend to, I look at the specials and I'm interested, but I tend to, as a chef, I tend to sort of say, no, like the stuff that's on the menu that they've, like you say, it's polite to have their speciality. If it's on the menu and you really, a chef has designed the menu, so they've thought about it, they've thought it through, this is their seasonal menu or whatever, yeah, I want to try that. They're thinking, they're deeper thinking, not the thing that they just churn out loads of, and maybe not the thing that was just like, you know, going cheap today. I want their thinking and their craft. So I'd go for something off the menu that maybe wasn't the main seller, but might be something that they, because the main sellers might be not the thing they have to think about. You know, maybe they're like, oh, I've got a new idea, put it on the menu, but no one buying it because they're all buying the main thing. And the chef's sad at the end of the day because, oh, we did a lot of the old salt ramen, but, you know, I've been trying this new spicy ramen and no one's been trying it, so I don't even know if they like it. Well, I'll try it, mate. I'll try it. I'll have your little creation off your menu. You see, it might be polite. And also, if you're going in there, I suppose it's up to me as the customer. I'm going in there, so I know it's the main thing is salt ramen. Maybe I should accept that and just, you know, go with the flow. Okay, that's a bit different. Maybe that's a Japanese thing having, because we have got some restaurants in the UK that are like, oh, we just do this one thing. But usually they like to, you know, offer a bit of a variety as well. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose if I was going to the, you know, the famous vegan hot dog shop and I ordered myself a vegan burger, I'd feel like a bit of a twonk because, you know, everyone else would be having vegan hot dogs, wouldn't they? And that's why I'm there. I do see that on the telly sometimes. They're like, oh, we've gone to this famous restaurant for their famous cuisine, and they, you know, do a lot of these. I did used to work in a place before I was vegan where we cooked mussels. There was like mussels and chips were going on. Yeah, like if someone came in and ordered a rack of lamb, you'd be like, well, you know, I've got 5 pans of mussels on the go. Where am I going to fit this chuffing rack of lamb? Can't you just have mussels like everyone else? That's what we're famous for. Yeah, I get that. So that would be a bit strange to be like going in there and ordering something off. But they put it on the list. If they don't want to sell it, don't put it on the list, mate. It's not my fault as a customer that I just had a slightly different taste today. And it went by very quick and I didn't even choose anything. So maybe I still win because I didn't choose anything. So do you want to quit? No. You work part-time for a moving company. Oh, God. Books and clothes. I suppose books is heavier, isn't it? So I pick it up, being polite. Although, you know, these days, Progress update. Previous 5 questions. Moderately considerate. I mean, should I give them more mints? I don't know. They didn't ask me. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know how to give them mints. I think that was a fail for that one in some ways. I think they're just being polite and not telling me I failed, but I'll let you have 1 bite. Oh, hooray. Oh, this is my choice of bite. I like this. The way it's wobbling is, like, I'd prefer it if it was just static as a line drawing, to be honest. The wobbling is making me feel like I've had too many berries for dinner. Oh, that went by too. I should have chosen a bite. That's inconsiderate, isn't it? It's inconsiderate to not actually choose. Starting school today. Here I am. Me. You. The Emperor is talking. Yep. God. Yep. The King. Yep. The Boss. Yep. I'm not saying anything. You. Here. I just pressed all the buttons because I thought, you know, you press something, might go down well. There we are, watching a bit of telly on my non-gendered parent's knee. This is... am I the parent or the child? No, this is no good. Right, this is no good. What? I don't like that either. I mean, what's going on? I was just changing channels between a load of rubbish. Red fighter. That's me. Blue fighter. Yellow fighter. Together we are the 3 Rangers. Okay. Here I come. How'd you be considerate in a superhero situation? This isn't my stop. This is not my stop. Yeah? They got off. Should I just move? Yeah, I'll just move down a bit. Get out. Just wasn't enjoying sitting next to them anyway, so I just moved down a bit. That was straightforward. Okay, I can't pause it during... Wait. In some way or another, considerate. When I went to school, I was sort of considerate. Number 16. This is bafflement. Oh, hello. I recognise this. Oh, look, we're going over there. Where are we off to? Over the bridge. Get out of my way, I'm going first. No, I'm not, because I'm all about being considerate, aren't I? So, there we go. Just went with them. Here we go, waiting for a lift. Can we jump around in the lift? Get out of the way, it's my turn first. Oh, there's a chuffer. Get out of the way, let the chuffer out. Oh, I'm the chuffer. Oh, I moved to let them in. Okay. I should have got out. I was sweating. They should have moved for me to let me out. That would have been more considerate. So, here we are. We're in the lift again. That's me. I'm the red one. What are they looking at? I don't have to move my head just because they're moving their heads. That's not anything to do with it, is it? Just wait in the lift, eh? I moved my head as well. I'll put it back down. Someone's angry. 10. Don't know what was happening there. Number 19. It's a pleasure to meet you. The other person and you. What? What am I supposed to be doing? Not looking at her boobies, I suppose. Looking at her face? What's that target for? Is that what I'm looking at? I just try not to look at her boobies as much as possible. Although it's okay to look at every part of a person's body, like, you know, as you look at them, I think. Is it? I don't know. Oh, we're inside the apple, so I'm a cat inside a strawberry. And that was straightforward. I think I've done that right. A progress update. We need these, because without these I wouldn't... Considerably considerate. Trying not to look at her boobies. That was what that was for, frankly. Number 21. This is a little bit... Okay, wait. Pause me. Consideration for me, thank you. Considerate for me. Where's my background? I'm going to turn the music down on this, and I'm going to now put on my own background music, which is a little bit inconsiderate to the people who made the music on the game. You know, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? I'm playing your game, aren't I? I'm playing your game. Let's just have that load down. So, like, obviously, I forgot what I was going to say now. I had to interrupt the game, though, because these things are going by quite quick, yeah? And it's not giving you a... Unless I'm hiding it under my face or hiding it under the chat, it's not giving me like a direct command prompt, like do this for this, do that for that. It's kind of like, if you want to do something, you do something and see what happens. And most of the time, doing something is a little more considerate than nothing, I think. Most of these situations. So I think you could probably cheese the game. But I'm really trying to, you know, trying to think through these considerate... Maybe you're supposed to be impulsive. That's what I was going to say. It feels a bit like a psychological test. I'm supposed to look at a card. That's not very polite in our culture. Maybe it's different in Japan, but in our culture, you look at someone in the eyes to be polite. Hello, nice to meet you. Look you in the eyes. Don't look down at your feet and your card. It's inconsiderate. Don't know who you're talking to. Have a look at your eyes. They wouldn't let me see your eyes, so that was inconsiderate. Yeah, it feels like one of those, you know, when they do the psychologist tests and they hold up the pictures of like the ink blots. It's called a Rorschach test, isn't it? A Rorschach test. They do the Rorschach test and no one actually does it in real psychology. If you go to see a psychologist or a therapist or whatever and you talk about how you feel, they're very unlikely to get out these random cards and say, oh, what does that look like? And you're like, oh, it looks like a big squashed bee. Very unlikely to do that, aren't they? Very unlikely. What's more likely is that they just talk to you about how you feel, and then you talk to them. You know, that's all right. Everyone likes talking about how they feel, so that's what we're doing here. But it's like this psychology test where it happens quick, so you do it instinctively and impulsively, and it shows you just sort of like how you feel. A card is an extension of a person in Japan, so they treat them with care. It's good to have you here with your knowledge of Japanese culture. I think I've got some business. I haven't kept all that. I usually keep most of my business cards and things in folders based on where, like if I've been to, when we did Eddie Strongman filming, all my Strongman contacts and cards went in a folder that was Strongman folder. When I did vegan fairs, all my vegan fair contacts went in a vegan fair contact folder. And I don't ever contact any of them. So, but I do have their cards, I suppose. An extension of a person. It's a bit of a funny way to look at it. Because, like, it's just a bit of card, really, isn't it? So, that's fair enough. They treat them with care. It's nice to know that they would treat my card with care, because, you know, you go through all the trouble and rigmarole of giving it to people. They just throw that chuffer in the bin, don't they? I suppose all the card companies would do better business out in Japan, won't they? You know? You've been in Japan for a few... You're in Japan. Good old Japan. Very nice and polite, I hear. Very nice and considerate people. Very nice and considerate people. Oh, my stomach. It's me. I've got a bad tummy. Toilet, take care. I'll just go in the toilet. Maybe I should have gone in the one next, not adjacent to that person. Maybe there's someone in there. I didn't think. I just went in, because where the sign was, I thought the sign's bad. What happened then? What happened then? Wait. We've got to talk about this. So I went in the toilet. In real life, if I had a bad tummy and it was a public toilet, I wouldn't like it in real life. I'd be like, I don't like this situation. Can't I find a more, you know, can't I go in a private toilet where I can just spend some time feeling poorly, not having to worry about how it impacts on other people or how they impact on me? You know what I mean? I wouldn't like to go in the public toilet for that sort of business. Especially not with the old COVID. When the old COVID went round, we weren't going out much, were we? But, you know, even with the old COVID, when we got let out again, I was like, do I have to go in these toilets where all these people have been? That's going to be a risk, isn't it, to my health? A health hazard. You know, I don't want to go in all these public toilets. Just go in my own toilet, thanks. Obviously, you do have to use public conveniences at some point. You just have to sort of put up with it, don't you? Maybe I should have gone in the stall along. the very end. But I thought the sign said "take care." I thought that meant that one on the end, there was something wrong with it. So I tried to be considerate. If I wasn't being considerate, I'd have been more selfish. I'd have gone in the one on the end to be more selfish to me, to try and get as much distance, in a way. So consideration is different for each person, isn't it? Some people might consider it. I mean, obviously, I think I was wrong. The sign was just a red herring. I'm the red. The sign was just confusing. You go further away from the people to be considerate. I'm pretty sure about that. But I don't know. If I've got a bad stomach, it doesn't mean I'm going to chuff in poo on the floor, does it? It doesn't mean I'm going to ruin the place. It might just mean, oh, my tummy felt bad, you know. Doesn't mean I'm going to go in there and destroy it. That's even, I'm even more considerate now. I'm thinking about it. If I'm going to destroy it, I like to do it at home, where I have to deal with it. I don't like to destroy a public convenience. No. And most of the time, you know, this is probably different for different countries as well, because you can't not go though, can you? You end up going on the floor. And in the UK, if you go in a public convenience at like the train station, or you know, like a proper public one where it's not within an establishment, if it's not inside a bar or it's not inside a restaurant, if it's just a public, you know, full-on public, then when you go in there, you open the cubicle door and the toilet lid has been smashed off. And despite the fact the toilet lid's been smashed off, someone's filled it to the brim with toilet paper. And don't want to be mean and, you know, make you feel bad, and, you know, don't need to talk about horrible things, but you know what I mean. They filled it to the brim with horrible stuff, and you look at it and you think, well, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. And then you think, if I leave here and go to the one, you know, now when I leave this, because I've gone in here to try and use it, look at it. When I leave, people are going to think that's me that's done that. So that, you know, you haven't got a choice sometimes. Yeah, you haven't got a choice sometimes. But most, you know, if you go to a restaurant or a bar or something, most of them are fairly mundane. You know, someone cleans them regularly, I suppose. Most of them are fairly mundane. You've usually got more people in there doing cocaine than you have using it for a toilet these days. So I don't know what the polite thing to do is. I probably wouldn't put myself in those situations, though. Do you know what I mean? If I had a bit of a bad tummy, I probably wouldn't be out round and about wandering through the shops. It was me who did it. No, hello, capital K. We're discussing difficult social situations and how to respond in Japan through the schema of Japanese video games. And one of the situations was, if you've got a bad tummy, you go in the bathroom, and which stall do you use? And I think I chose the wrong one, because I think I went in next to someone, and that was rude. But then again, I'm thinking about this in the big picture. In the big picture, they're all public shitters. Like, you know, if someone's in the public shitter and you sit down in the public shitter next to them and they're like, oh, you rude you, how dare you? I mean, come off it, mate. It's a choice of three. It's not like I didn't knock on your door, did I? I didn't knock on your door and demand you hurry up. I didn't knock on your door. I just went in one of the public. That's what they're for. That's what they're for, isn't it? It's like if I park my car next to your car, you know, oh, you park your car next to mine. Well, it's just designated parking space. You could have parked it somewhere else away from mine. Yeah, well, you know, you can always drive your car. If you want to get up and pull your trousers up and move into the next... sorry, I didn't realise it was full. Not of people, but of... Anyway, look, I don't want to quit. I want to move on to the next social situation. Here I am. Oh, wait, I've moved. Oh, I've moved so they can put in their password. That was considerate of me. Did it by accident. Super considerate. Here we are, we're walking. It's the pollen season. We're crying. Do you want to go to an outdoor cafe or an indoor cafe? I think we go to an indoor because he's crying. Isn't it? That's considerate of me. Crying. Hide your shame. This is me. This is us. There's a gun. I've got a gun to my head. So I just put my hands out like that. There's the dog. There's the dog now. Progress update. 5 questions. In some way or another, considerate. What? What? I don't know what that means. What are you doing, doggy? Are you alright? Did the cat scare you? Not very considerate, is it? I've not been in a situation where someone's threatened me with a gun. Have I been in a situation? I think it's inconsiderate as you have a bad stomach. A cleaner has to clean it later, and there's a sign saying be careful. Yeah, that's true. I thought the sign might be general. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult to know, isn't it? Maybe I was being more considerate because I went in the right toilet. It was careful. You know who to be considerate to. You consider it to one person, there's a knock-on effect to someone else. What's going on here, though? Like, someone put a gun to my head. Like, have I ever been in a situation where someone's threatened me with a gun? No, I don't think I have. Have I seen guns? Yes, occasionally. I've shot a couple of guns. Shot a shotgun when I was a kid. We went shooting in the woods, me and my dad. But we went... Okay, so this is a big face story, just a random. And I am vegan. Bear in mind. So, you know, these days I'm vegan. So, like, have you ever been threatened? I'll tell you about what I've been threatened by. And we'll go shooting first. So, you're like 6 or 7 years old. You're quite little. You're a kid, yeah. And your dad wakes you up. Like, this wasn't pre-prepared. This wasn't like get a good night's sleep because tomorrow we're going shooting. Your dad wakes you up and it's like 6 in the morning. It's still dark, and he's like, "Get up, get up, get up." I'm like, what? It's like, we're going shooting. I'm like, what? He's like, what? And you go, get up. And like, get dressed, and you go with your dad, and you're out, and it's dark, and you get to the woods, and you don't like it. Tell you what, you don't like it. It's quite scary. He's got this big like suitcase thing with the gun in it. He's getting the gun together. I'm like, what? The sun's just starting to come up. It's cold. It's misty, and he's cold. And he's like, go in this field, and I want you to put. You got these fake pigeons. They're like fake pigeons. He's like, get them on the sprouts. We're putting them on the sprouts. And I'm like, I'm in the fields with these fake. Am I all right here? Dad's got a gun. It's field sprouts, birds on the sprouts on the fields, fake birds. Go and sit in the woods, Dad. And it's freezing cold, and it's the morning, and the sun's coming up. So you're just there like, this is not what the chuff. And like, he's got the shotgun, and we're sat there, and he's like, when the pigeons come and land on there, because they're going to see these other pigeons, these fake pigeons, they're going to think, oh, something nice to eat down there. When they come, we'll shoot them. That was the strategy. When they come, we'll shoot them. That was the strategy. And I was just like, okay, what? I mean, I don't really... No pigeons. None. Not one. Not one pigeons came. So we sat in the early morning dew for about like 2 hours. Quietly. Sometimes we drank some tea out of a flask. Quietly. Maybe I had a little father-son chat. I mean, I was only little. What was there to chat about? Shh, the pigeons. Pigeons are coming. They're going to hear you talking. Just sit there and quietly then. And then eventually, after no pigeons came, I was like, so can we shoot the gun? He was like, yeah, okay. Okay, we can shoot the gun. Obviously, I was quite little, so he held the gun a bit as well. And like, I pulled the trigger and it went, fucking chuffing gun, man. Great big shotgun. Nearly knocked me over. Like... chuffing great big shotgun. And then I was like, okay. And then I went in the woods and I found an empty milk bottle in the woods, and I was like, I'll throw the empty milk bottle up and you shoot it with the gun. So he's like, all right, yeah. Right, so we had the milk bottle with the gun, and then went for a little walk in the woods, and there was like this cabin in the woods. This like, it was like what you might imagine it was brick built in part. So someone's pulled a load of bricks out to the woods and built this little cabin out of bricks. It's weird old spider cabin. And then that was it. We went home, went shooting. We didn't kill anything, thank God. We didn't kill anything. But I did shoot a shotgun when I was quite young. Fucking hell. Big chuffer of a gun. Have I ever been threatened at knife point? Yes and no. Someone's threatened to stab me a number of occasions, like different people. I've been threatened with stabbing, but they didn't pull the knife itself, so I don't know if they had a knife. You shush. Looking for you with your daddy. Hey? So there was this once where this kid owed me £10. It's not a lot of money, but he owed me £10, and I used to drive through the village on my way home all the time. So I just thought, you know, one day I'll see him and I'll get my £10. So one day I did see him, so I pulled over. And like, as I pulled over, he's straight up to the window. So instead of me, like, you know, he's at the window. So I wound down the window. I thought he's going to give me the £10. And I wound down the window and I was like, all right, how's it going? I wasn't going to jump out and attack him or anything. But I think he thought I was, because he owed me £10. And I pulled over quite quick when I saw him. I was like, oh, there he is. And like, I wound down the window and he's like, you fucking get out of the car and I'll stab you. I'll stab you up. You get out of the car and I'll stab you up. And I was like, for £10? Do you know what? If it was, you know, if it was the other way around and I had to give you £10 to avoid a stabbing, I probably would. So we'll just leave it at that, eh? Didn't pull over again, didn't ask him any questions again. Next time I saw him, I just ignored him and he ignored me. So that's £10 well spent, isn't it? That's £10 well spent to avoid a knife-wielding madman for the rest of my life. Get out of the car and I'll stab you. I was just going to be like, how's it going? Have you got that tenner? And he was going to go, no. And I was going to go, all right, next time I see you, you know, I'll try and catch you when you've got some money in your pocket. But he was cross. Yeah, no, I didn't get threatened with knife point there. And once someone said in Bristol, I'll stab you up. That's what we say around these parts. I'll stab you up. I don't say it. Knife-wielding madmen say it. Someone else threatened me with a Stanley knife once as well. A Stanley knife is like what you might call it a box cutter in America, which is like it's got a small blade that you push out, but it's actually a razor blade like this, like a proper, you know, proper blade. You use them for cutting carpets and things at work. You know, like you push the blade out and it sits like that in the knife, and you use it for cutting carpets and stuff like that. It's a workman's tool, and certain football firms and hooligans and certain people carry, like, it's only a little knife like that, little blade that pokes out the end of like a box cutter. So you know, you can't really say, oh, officer, you've caught me with a Stanley knife, you know, or big whoop. You know, I do a little bit of DIY and I've got a Stanley knife and a hammer, so big whoop. But yeah, I know you've got to have a little razor blade around the place, haven't you? You've got to have your little razor blade. This is quite rusted, but I use it for, like, you know, it's a multi-purpose tool, isn't it? You know, you could pick something out your teeth with that, or, you know, if you've got a little thing on your nail, or, you know, it's just there. I've got other things like little screwdrivers. You've got to have your little screwdrivers kicking around, haven't you? Out of the cracker, little screwdrivers. We're getting off course now. Little screwdrivers. Got to have little tiny screwdrivers, haven't you? Out of a cracker. Little tiny. Everyone's got those just sitting on the desk, haven't they? No? Alright. I mean, the razor blade's useful in case anything happens. You can always slip that under your hat or into your mouth, and, you know, you might have a little weapon. Anyway, look, so I came out of this shop and this lad was there, and he was a bit of a local nutter, and I didn't know him. Like, bear in mind, I didn't know him. I just knew he was a local nutter, and he's over talking at me, and I'm like, he was like, he had a Scottish accent. I couldn't understand exactly what he was cross about, but he was going off like a local nutter. So I'd just been in the shop and I just bought a Yorkie, like a chocolate bar, like it's chunky chocolate bar. So I'd opened it and I was eating it. I was with two of my friends, and like we were younger at this point, like we're like under 18. So we just bought chocolate bars, and like, it was with girls as well as boys, just like young people. You know, we were like the young goths and freaks, and this was like a towny, you know, alcoholic drug addict that was like local nutter, like full on. And he come over and he was like with the Stanley knife. I think he had the Stanley knife at this. I think I had been threatened with a knife. I think he had it. Right, he was like, I'll cut your face from here to here, and like, you know, he was describing what he was going to do with the Stanley knife. Like, honestly, no, wait, this was it. Wait, he wasn't saying he was going to cut me. He'd cut his own face in a previous act of local nutterism. He'd cut his own face, and he had a big scar down his face. Big scar. And Yorkie, not for girls. Well, what I did was, this is how I tried to diffuse the situation, was I offered him the Yorkie. I was like, do you want to... I didn't offer him the whole Yorkie. Bear in mind, I'm not going to give up my whole Yorkie, not even to the local nutter with a Stanley knife. I'm not giving up the whole Yorkie. But I was like, do you want a piece of my chocolate? My Yorkie? Because I thought, like, in my I don't know how I got to this in my brain. I was about 17. He was a local nutter. I just thought, he's come over to us as we're leaving the shop. He can see I've got this Yorkie. Like, he's incensed. He's angered. So maybe, you know, it's because of the Yorkie. Like, I don't know why. I couldn't put two and two. I was like, do you want some of the Yorkie? I was being honest, so I was like, do you want some of my Yorkie? And he went, no, don't want any of your fucking chocolate, like that. And I was like, all right, so that, you know, I don't want any of your fucking chocolate, like that. All right, you know. So if you don't want my Yorkie, then there's not much I can, you know, just leave it at that then, mate, eh? You're not having my tin of Fanta. That's mine. You can't share a Fanta with a local nutter. I'm like, you know, not having that. And there was another time, I mean, I've been threatened loads of times. There was one time where someone threatened me with violence in a pub, in a bar. It was quite busy. This is my impressive one, when I sound good. Well, I don't sound good. It was really busy, and we were having this argument, and like they were very close to me, and I got two stories. I'll start with the one that made me look bad. Well, I suppose it depends which way you look at it. The first one, we're having the argument. He used to work somewhere I used to work, and I'd taken his job apparently. I didn't even know him. And because we were having this argument in the pub, he headbutted me, and I was like, fuck. And like my nose was all like, and it makes your eyes water. Yeah, it like makes your eyes water. And the bouncer come over, and he grabbed me by the head and yoinked me outside, and that made me cry. Honestly, like, I'm not being funny. It made me cry. I was about 19 or 20, and I'm not super tough. I'm not super wimpy, but it made me cry. Just the fact that somebody I didn't know, who thought I'd taken their job, which was like a ridiculous thing to be cross at me about. I didn't even know them. They'd headbutted me. It started the tears coming with the headbutt, and then the bouncer had thrown me out. Like the injustice of it all. Like I can't go in and enjoy myself. I have to walk home with a chuffing nose and and it made me cry. So I sat there on the side of the pub just going like, like both, my nose, and I'm crying a bit. And then the chuffer who headbutted me came out and went, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. I was like, you fucking headbutted me. What did you think? Like, where? I know I'm crying. All right, I did, I was like, and I couldn't stop it. It was just an emotion that came out of me. So I couldn't stop it. I was a bit drunk and I had a cry. And then I walked home. But this other thing played out. It was probably a few weeks after. Wait, was this after or before? I was working at the restaurant. Oh, I don't know. So I was in a different bar in my local town, and someone had come up to me and given me the chuffy chuff. And I'd remembered, I think this was after, because I'd remembered how it felt to get headbutted in that situation. So before we had the big conversation, I chuffing headbutted them hard as I could. And you know what? The bouncer came out and grabbed them and threw them out. So it worked. It was like the situation in reverse. So I don't know, whichever way. I'm good for one, I'm bad for the other. I'm bad for one, I'm good for the other. But it worked, and that kid never came up to me again and gave me any chuff. I was shorter than him, he was taller than me, so I just went and just headbutted him. And I suppose from one angle it looked like he was giving me loads of shit, and then like a fight sort of broke out. So they might have thought it was him, but it wasn't. It was me. These are not. Don't do these things. Don't do these things. It's better to deflect violence. In this situation, I was a packed bar and I couldn't like go away. Like, you know what I mean? I was like waiting at the bar and I was packed and I couldn't say, no, you have my space, and, back down or whatever. So I just had to lay in the headbutt. And that's probably my finest fighting hour. I'm not out there, throwing up fisticuffs like Conor McGregor every weekend. But what else have I been threatened with? Oh yeah, the funny one as well. And then we'll go back to Japanese social culture, which is a bit different to my stories of growing up in the rough and tumble of the UK. I'm quite posh, aren't I? I speak quite nicely. So when I think you were saying I get in these situations, I think because I mix in, I don't mix in the high classes, let's say that. I'm not out there with Boris Johnson on his private jets. I'm down in the local boozer. Do you know what I mean? I'm down in the local boozer. So maybe sometimes they see me as someone who's not quite like them. Because I talk in a nice way. I dress however the hell I want. I'm wearing a hoodie with a cat on it. So, maybe they see me as a victim. I don't know what it is. But yeah, you're right. I do stir up controversy sometimes. I've got another couple. Yeah, another couple. I'm not violent. It's just that I've been in. You've been in these situations, and what you're going to do. This person's like this close to you, going, "You chuffing this and I'm just chuffer," and I'm like, "Right, this is going to end badly, isn't it, for you?" Like, sometimes it's ended badly for me, like I said, because that chuffer came out, a different chuffer before, and I was like, oh, what's he saying to me? And before I thought about it, I headbutted. So this was a good one. I was in Bristol, and I was walking home. I lived in this dodgy area. It was like, honestly, there were prostitutes and, and crackheads and things like that on the way home. So this one guy comes up to me, and he's like, do you want to buy some crack, bad crack? And I'm like, I don't know about that, mate. I'm just a student on my way home. I don't want any of that bad crack. No. He didn't call it bad crack. He probably said it was good. But we know it's bad, don't we? We know it's bad. He tried to sell it. He was saying how good it was. And I was like, I don't want any of that. No. And then he carried on following me. Like, he was like, on my side of the road now. He'd come over to my side of the road and he was like following me. And I was thinking, I don't like this situation now. This guy's following me. He's like, come over to my side of the road and we're going to my house. So I don't want him to come to my house. So I'm like, what can I do to get rid of him, yeah? So he's come over and he's like, do you want to buy this crack? Do you want to buy this crack? And I've told him no, and he didn't want to go away. So in the end, I've said, look, I'll tell you what, how much is the crack? And he's like, 20 quid. And I'm like, I've got 20 quid out. And I'm like, here they go then. And I'll buy because I thought if I buy the crack, he'll go away. Do you know what I mean? I thought he'd leave me alone. Then he took my 20 quid and I'm like, where's the crack? And he's like, oh, I just got to go over here and I just got to get it out of this thing. And I'm like, no, where's me motherfucking crack? And then he's going away and I'm chasing him. Like, I'm following him. Where's my crack? And now I thought, oh, like, this is going wrong, isn't it? And I think he had a knife or threatened me with a knife. I don't think he had one. But he turned around and was like, you fuck off or I'll stab you up again. Like, it was one of those situations. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, actually, I'll leave that 20 quid. I don't want to be stabbed up, and I don't want the crack either. It's just the principle of the thing. You know what I mean? I was chasing this guy down the street. Where's my crack? And if anyone had seen me, they'd have thought, oh, he's a crackhead, isn't he? I'd never done any, I wasn't going to fight and put it up my face or anything. I was just like, out of principle, I'll give you the 20 quid. Give me the money back then. Or on second thoughts, after all that, after total consideration, now that you've just decided you want to stab me up, why don't we leave it? Why don't we leave it? You have that £20, you spend it on crack, and you have a great night. You have a lovely time. I'll see you again probably, on my walk home, and you'll think there's that chuffer who gave me that. Remember I gave you that, and I'm being nice. I tried to say, like, all right, you have it then. Leave me alone. Also, I didn't know how to pitch it at the end. Didn't know how to quite pitch it, but, he had the money and the crack probably. But on the positive side, he didn't follow me home and, come in my little digs, did he? So that was good. People in the UK get aggressive easily. Yeah. They like to start being tall. I've got a mate, right? I've got a mate who's tall, and there's been a situation where we're in this bar. I've walked around with the drinks. I've bought the drinks. I've got 3 drinks in my hand and I'm walking. And this lad, a local lad, again, bit of an idiot. Not a total idiot, but a bit of an idiot. He's bumped into me like that. It's the classic. It's the classic. The drinks have gone. I put the drinks down and I've pushed him and he's gone over. And then the bouncer's got him and chuffed him out. Because let's be fair, the bouncer saw the situation. He did it deliberately. It's not my fault for pushing him over. Put the drinks down, that's happened. It happens. These things happen. Like, he's gone, yeah? So when we leave the club later on, he's outside on a park bench, right? And I'm there with my mate who is tall and my sister. And we're like, there he is on a park bench. And I've said, just leave him. Just forget it. Right, just leave it. We're just going home now. We've had a nice time. Just leave him. And he's there with his... And then all of a sudden, all these, like, mates come from behind the park bench. They were hiding in the dark because they thought we'd go over and we'd remonstrate with him. Well, my tall mate, like, they've all come up like these little swarm of little hooded gang kids, like, whatever. They're coming out like, throwing punches and, like, little wasps. And I'm there, and my mate's there, and I haven't hit anyone. One of the main things I've said is, we're on camera. That's my main thing I'm saying to them. We're on camera, so don't tap the mic. Nobody, like, we're outside in the main part of the town. Like, we're on camera. Nobody start throwing any punches. Let's not all get silly. I'm diffusing the situation. I'm doing that, and they've all attacked because he's tall. Like you said, because you're tall. They've just started, like, someone hit him from nowhere, just like whack into, and like he's caught a couple of blows. He started, like, brawling. The police have turned up and all that. And, like, the main factor in their choosing him and not me, even though I was the one that pushed the kid over, was he started it by pushing me. Anyway, like, the main factor was that he was the taller one. So yeah, being tall is like a threat to some people. It's weird. And we've got a system in our country where at the end of the evening, when people are really, really drunk, they all congregate at the kebab shop and the taxi rank, and they kind of put those things near each other. And it's like, you might as well set up a boxing ring as well, because, like, it goes off every time. If you want to get a kebab, you have to, like, either run the risk of or be involved in, run the risk of being involved in, or run the risk of, like, seeing, or there's always some scuffle there. And if you want to get a taxi, like, I used to have the hairdressing shop. I used to sit in the hairdressing shop, looking out the window till the taxi rank was empty, so I could go and get myself a taxi without having to stand in the queue and be threatened every 30 minutes. It was just insane. Like, I don't know if they've cleaned that up or not now, but the taxi rank used to be the place. And it's stupid, isn't it? Because you just want to go home. That's why you're there. So why are you fighting? Why are we, like, what is it? I don't know. It's never been for me. It's not all those stories of street violence, and all that. It's never been for me. I've never been in there going, yeah, let's get it. I've always been like, I'm not this again. No, and it just happens everywhere. In mainly town centres because people are drunk. But yeah, it just seems to be. And when I went to Rome, my friend was asking me, like, on the street in Rome, there are pickpockets. It's not major, but there are pickpockets. how do I explain this as well? And I need to go to an area in Rome that's not the best area in Rome because I need to buy, let's say, a cake. Because it's the internet and you're not allowed to say like illegal things that you might have been buying. But I wanted to go and buy my favourite cigarettes from this shop. You know, it wasn't a shop, it was a man on the street. And he sold my favourite cigarettes. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had to go and buy some of my favourite cigarettes off this guy on the street. So I've got my street smarts. I know what's going down. Yeah, I'm able to do these things. I've got my street smarts. But my friend in Rome was like, why are you behaving differently when we're walking? Like, we're at the train station. Why won't you talk to me properly? And I'm like, look, we're at the train station. So I've got my jacket zipped up and I've got my hands in my pockets on my like phone and my wallet. So I'm not like some idiot that's going to get chuffing pickpocketed. Got my bag, you know, I need to take eyes on that. I'm looking after you as well because she's like, you know, she's the local, but anyway, look, I've got eyes out for you. And, you know, we're in the local underground, we're just travelling across Rome on the underground train. No one cares for me, so I've got to keep my street smarts about me, haven't I? I've got to like be vigilant, and it's part of being anxious. It's part of having an anxiety disorder. But I'm hyper vigilant, so I go into these situations. Like I said, I go to the local boozer. I have arguments with racists. I don't fit in, but I have to also be hyper vigilant in ways because you can't just say, "Oh, chill, let's just sit on this park bench and you know put my bag down over there and you know whatever." You've got to understand the truth of the streets, haven't you? So I'm different when I'm inside and in the restaurant and whatever than when we're just walking the street. And if you want me to mess about, I used to mess about in walking the street and hanging out in parks, but these days I'm not into it. These days I'm more vigilant. Yeah, I suppose because of these infractions over the years. But you know, I just smoke funny cigarettes from time to time on holiday, and sometimes I have to go into the worst situations. There was another one. I'm down the street. I'm down the street, and this guy's got like a big plaster. I don't know what like a big plaster on his face. So he's obviously had like a knife. Something's happened to his face. He's got big plaster on his face. I'm like down the street with him, and he's got my favourite cigarettes from behind the wheel of a car. And I'm down the dark alley, and you know, in these situations, my friend has not come down the dark alley. She's at the top of the street with her other friend from Italy who would not walk down the dark alley. So I'm down the dark alley, and like I'm doing the thing with the thing, and at the other end of the dark alley, you see the like they've got special police out there. They're like they've got guns and stuff. They're walking around in the tourist area down there, like keeping it. And I'm like, oh God, there's the. I'm like, I still have to do this, and I still have to say to this guy, that's not enough of my favourite cigarettes. I need double that, mate. I need double that. You're not having the money. Get off. We had to go through this night negotiation. I think I pushed them, and they get a bit more worried. They're like, I don't want the police to see me selling cigarettes out in the street, so they just start handing them over. That worked out all right for me anyway, though. I walked out the alley, that's for sure, you know. It's a funny old world. It is a funny old world. The main thing is to keep your wits about you and don't be an aggressor. Don't be, you know, but also don't be intimidated all the time. Like, I think you can't go around and look. This is a different world these days. I shouldn't give people advice because, you know, you grow up in a different world, don't you? But certainly don't be an aggressor, but also, you know, let's not be ready to be victims either, is a reasonable thing. I think my other problem I have is that I'll argue about something, I'll discuss it, but I won't expect it to turn into a street fight. And like, then other people have to come in and say, whoa, don't start hitting Scott. There was this once we were in a pub, and I was painting myself blue for a fancy dress competition. Like, I was blue all over, like the Blue Men, but it's blue noses from the football team. Anyway, I was blue all over as well, all over. I'd taken the trouble to blue up my, you know, well, I can say this, can't I? It's YouTube, cock and balls. So I'd blued up everything. Everything was blue, the face paint. I was wearing jeans, but otherwise, you know, I was blue and I was naked. So we'd gone to the fancy dress. It was great. We'd had a good time. We're back at the local boozer. Not everyone in the boozer is in fancy dress. It's gone midnight. It's the local boozer, so it's gone midnight. It's gone 1 o'clock, and like, you know, you're still in there. I'm still painted blue, and at this point, I've got to the point where I can't see properly, where I'm like actually staggering around and I can't see properly. And there's a girl at the bar, and I offered her a drink, and I've explained how blue I'm painted, and I've shown her my blue cock and balls, which was naughty. But I'm not doing it to be like sexually aggressive. I'm doing it because I just like, I'm so smashed, and I'm telling her that I've painted everything blue, and I just, showed her. And then she's gone back to the table with her boyfriend, and he's smashed as well, isn't he? So then it's like outside with me, and I'm like you can't have a fight with me because I'm painted blue. And all my friends are in there, and like one of them's dressed as Mario, one of them's dressed as the Princess Daisy, and like we're like trying to diffuse a fight, and I'm painted blue and I'm partially naked, and they're dressed as Mario characters, and like that was a good night. When nobody had a fight in the end. Nobody did have a fight, but it can break out at any time just by inadvertently exposing the fact, that you're exposing yourself, can't it? So at any time. And Super Nintendo Switch, I don't know. Oh, we go back to the gun point. I don't know what the correct thing is. That I've seen it on the internet. You sort of spin round and grab the gun really quick and hope they don't shoot you in the head, don't you? I don't know. I honestly think if someone was threatening me with a gun, I would have the bottle to try a disarmament. I'd have to try, because I'm not going to sit there being scared for like hours on end. I'd have to give it a crack. Because if you lose it's gone wrong. I don't know much about it, but if it goes well, I mean, you've only got 1 split second to shoot me, but I've got all these other seconds to be out of the way. I think I could do that. I'd like to have a practice with a paintball gun. We should do it on stream. Someone tries to shoot me with a paintball gun and I try and disarm them. That might be fun. Yeah. But what a strange social... That's not a social situation, is it? It's not. There's no way to be considerate of your armed robber. There's no way to be considerate of your armed robber. You don't have to. Forget them. Oh, it's this again. I'm a ghost. I'm going in the picture, yeah? Ooh. Say cheese. Ghosting up the picture. That's got to be right. Who knows what you do when you're a ghost? I'm not being... Wait. I'm not being forced into social constructs of politeness and parameters of behaviour when I'm a ghost, am I? I'm not being forced down that pipe when I'm a ghost. Then it's all bets are off, mate. I'm eating my food with my hands when I'm a ghost. I probably don't get to eat the food, do I? Because I'm a ghost. I was going to say I'm eating with my hands. I'm not doing that. I'm not certainly not holding the door for anyone because I'm a ghost. So, like, I don't know what the correct etiquette is for ghosts, whether you're supposed to be in the picture or not. I don't know what's the correct etiquette. Yeah, blue cock and balls. Yep, absolutely. Bit late on the old blue cock and balls there. I mean, these are just words, aren't they? They're not the worst words. They're not the bad words for it. They're relatively sanitised. We're on YouTube today, so it's not Twitch, so I don't know which one you're supposed to be more sanitised on, but I do try. I'm not trying to be rude. Salt. A stopwatch. Okay, I'm stopping it on 3 minutes because I think noodles are supposed to take 3 minutes. What? Hello? She's having a drink. It's bubble tea. Wait, we're going to have to pause this. I didn't notice the grave kipper till now. I've just noticed the grave kipper. It's the wrong colour for this game, isn't it? It needs to be red. Where's my grave kipper? Let's have that. Let's select it. Colour 1, eh? Select colour. Red. There you go, that'll do. Okay, bit of grave kipper. There we go. It's just my nickname that I've given myself. I thought YouTube... Oh, God, I've done it the wrong way around, capital K. I'm being my worst self on YouTube and my more polite and sanitised version on Twitch. But that's because I've got a partnership with Twitch that I don't want to spoil, whereas YouTube, there's nothing between us except for AdSense on the other channels. And look, let's carry on. I don't know what I'm supposed to... Maybe I am the P. Wait, look, I'm going up the tube. How considerate of me. Again, I don't need to worry about manners if I'm a P in some soup. Big brother, I'm so hungry. Just hang on a bit longer, big brother. We'll go and earn some money. Ultra Trans Am quiz. The person who answers correctly first will get the prize money. Me and little brother. The correct Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain in Japan. Yes or no? Yes. I mean, do I want him to get it? I mean, we get the food together. Let's win the food. That was brutal. That was like Squid Game. All of a sudden, this turned into Squid Game, and they should do a Squid Game version, shouldn't they? They should really. It's a different culture. I'm merging the two cultures, Korea and Japan, two different cultures. But you know, you could do this same thing, but with situations from Squid Game. So they've merged. What is the correct answer there? If you're starving and you're crying, both of you, and you really need the food, and you go on the game show. And you know the answer. You think you know the answer. I'm pretty certain Mount Fuji. They put it in all the pictures. They wouldn't put it in all the pictures if it wasn't the big one, would they? You know, why would you choose the third biggest mountain to put in all the pictures? It just wouldn't be done, would it? You know? It's The Great Wave off Kanagawa by I've forgotten his name now. Hoyt bollocks. But you know, it's the main one. It's the main thing. It's the main thing. This game is completely... Yeah, I'm really glad we bought it and played it. It's actually ticking all the boxes for me. I like it being a bit weird. I think what would be really handy is if I'd taken loads of mushrooms. Not on YouTube. Don't say this stuff on YouTube. I'm joking. Don't take loads of... like normal mushrooms. Like you... Hokusai, that's him. That's the fella. That's him. That's the bloke. Do you know, we've got this thing in the UK, since we're doing cultures, web browsing, big face, since we're doing cultures, right? In the UK, my dad, he works on the roofs. He used to. He's a roofer, so he runs his own roofing company. And he knows people in different trades. And in the UK, if you want, for example, to have your bathroom tiled, you might call Mike the Tile. You might call Mike the Tile, because Mike works in tiling, you know. Mike the Tile. But you'd also call Lawrence the Tile because he's a roofer, so Loz the Tile. You might, if my dad once said he needed a new jacket, needed a new warm jacket, and he said he wasn't going to go to the shops, he was going to call his friend Mike the Coat. Honestly, he said he's going to call Mike the Coat and see what Mike the Coat's got, because Mike the Coat runs a line in tailoring for men, maybe out the back of a van or something, I don't know. Mike the Coat. You have, like, you know, Daz. I'm trying to think of other names for things that people do. If you're a plumber, you wouldn't be Daz the Plumber, you'd be Daz the Pipes. Daz the Pipe. Stuff like that. So when I was Hokusai, I was going to, instinctively, I was like, Hokusai, you know, Hokusai I tried to, in my brain, say what, you know, he's most famous for, it's not actually painting, I think it's printing. Wasn't it printing? I don't know if it was printing or... Anyway, he's most famous for the design of the Great Wave off Kanagawa, which becomes iconic. But it's not like it's deep history. I mean, it's old now, but, you know, he's a fairly modern... He's not like one of the ancient Japanese painters, I don't think. Hokusai the Paint. I'm thinking of him as like a tradesman, like, you know, someone who'd come around and paint your front of your house and your fence. Hokusai the Paint. I'm pronouncing it wrong, I bet. That's what we do in the UK, though. You get your nickname based. I used to be Scott the Hair because I cut hair. Scott the Hair for a little bit. I'm not now. Probably wouldn't. I don't know what you call me now. Scott the Chuffer, probably. Scott the Chuffer. No, we don't want to quit. We want some more of these strange social situations. Oh, I'm doing the lights. Let's keep the lights on the dancer. Mainly on the dancer as much as I can, please. I don't know where they're going. They've gone off. So, oh, they're back. They're back. Let's have them. Oh, there's two of them. So let's try and not have that fella in it who's doing the rope. What's that doing at the bottom? Get off. Just the dancers. They've only got one light. There's two of them. They should have prepared better, shouldn't they? She didn't look happy. That was good. I could do that. It was woodblock printing. You see? I'm not an idiot. It turns out. The previous 5 questions. This got pulled up. I mean, they're bad people, aren't they? They're the Yakuza. One of them's got spiked hair. That's not the right hair, is it? That's spiked hair is, in fiction and film. In fiction and film, if someone's got like a disability and that they're the bad, I'm not saying myself that disabled people are bad, yeah. But in fiction or film, if you're the villain, then you might have like a bad eye or a limp. You might have a physical characteristic, a disability that shows the people at home, oh, they're different and a bit strange. It used to be a disability would count for that. It could be albinoism, or it used to be in the fiction and film that would be enough to sort of confer upon you villainhood. Should have spotted that in The Usual Suspects, is it, with Kaiser Sose? Is that The Usual Suspects? In the one with Kaiser Sose, where he's like, and it's that bad actor who did the little boy. Anyway, look, he limps in that, but then at the end, he stops limping and walks normally because, it's all a con. It's all a con. So is the media world. It's all a con. So, so in this, I'm led to believe that spiky hair and, like, you know, uniform black clothing, in some ways, some sort of street gang. And that the spiky hair and the you know, the variety in those hairstyles, some of them are like quiffs. One of them's wearing a street jacket. I'm led to believe this is some sort of Yakuza street gang, just by the way they wear. It might not be. There might be a local matador, like, group of matadors, Spanish Matador Appreciation Society. They've got the little short jackets. Little Spanish Matador Appreciation Society. And one of them might just have, you know, hair that sticks up a bit. It's a bit more spiky than other people's hair. You know, I shouldn't go on first impression, should I? I mean, I was a ghost, so what do I know? Number 31, we're getting through them. Oh, love, it's like hippies. This is a natural sense. It's not something that can be something. Looks like I was right about this. Geniuses like this only come around once a day. Even the renowned somebody couldn't hold a candle to this kid. I'm looking... what? They may be a mere cocoon. One day they'll become a butterfly. Do I have to do anything? Oh, I've taken my sunglasses off. Look, this is me. I'm moving my sunglasses around. Taking them off, moving them around. So, there you go. Yeah, the Yakuza dress smart, don't they? They have to hide their tattoos, mainly. Oh, it's this again. Take the finishing move. 3 ranges attack. Oh, at this rate, it'll never end. So do you want me to concede? I'm not conceding. I'm the supervillain. It's a superhero show. It's like breaking my brain a little bit. Wait. Now we've got some racial stereotypes going off. Of course, that's quite normal in the media, isn't it? For the oil tycoon to be an Arab. Quite normal in the media. And you can't dispute that out in Saudi Arabia, people do wear those traditional costumes and garbs and have profited from the oil. You know, some people. There's also some people that are not allowed to go out because they're women. They're allowed out now. You got to just keep your clothes on. You know, and you've got the social pressures as well. But they're allowed out now. So it's fine now, isn't it, in Saudi Arabia? It's fine now. But, you know, there's just a few people who aren't allowed out because they're women. Or you're not allowed to have certain jobs because you're women. Well, you're allowed now. Well, sort of. They put up, I don't know if you saw this in the news. I'm not going to bring it up on the screen. But they put up a job for a female airline pilot or something. And about, like, 500,000 women applied for it. You know, it's different now. Saudi Arabia. What they're trying to do in Saudi Arabia is they're trying to get sports events over there. Saudi Arabia. Sports events. Put on the boxing. Have a big boxing show. Tyson Fury out there. And Anthony Joshua went out there and did the boxing. Tyson Fury went out and did the wrestling. Big sports events. And it makes it look like, oh, it's just a normal country like other countries. Don't worry about the fact that the women aren't allowed to go out. Don't worry about that. That's something we're going to change in the future. So don't worry about that. For now, we've got oil money and, you know, we can pay for the boxing. So we're all right. That's what's going on there. Not national stereotyping. What I'm saying is some people in that country really don't like that. Some people in that country wish it would change. And some people in that country might, you know, it's not a one-way thing. It's not like you can just put a little headband and a little moustache and it's, what's happening now? Should we go in the electric vehicle? Really, because it was an oil tycoon, so that would, it's like an irony. E-M. What? That's just a dot. I don't know. Number 35. Yeah, I'm Scott for Saudi rights, but not for all of them. Like I said, let's not be generalising. Let's not be doing national stereotyping. I don't want all of them to have nice human rights. Just the nice ones. The bad ones who are removing the human rights from other people. I don't mind if they don't have. From what I care, if their rights are impinged upon, well, might serve them right, mightn't it? Might serve them right. Might be a little bit of what goes around comes around. So, do you know what I noticed the other day, right? Do you know what I noticed the other day for the first time? That girls paint, not just girls, ladies as well, and men, and boys. If you want to paint your face, and you want to be on, because I'm not on Instagram and I don't look at that, and I'm not on TikTok and I don't look at that, but I look at YouTube, and YouTube sometimes serves me up like a collection of TikToks. So I look at them, and like they're painting this part of their nose. Right there on the very end of your nose. Right there. This is makeup tips now. Makeup tips. You do your whole face like that with your makeup. All the colour that it's... I suppose it's one colour. It's your face, isn't it? I mean, what... You get the colour that looks the same as your skin, from what I'm led to believe. I've been to the Boots. I've stood in that thing while my mum's picking a foundation. You know, I've stood there, I've been in Boots. They're checking it against their hand to see it's the same colour as their face, like that. That's the one. That's the one. Same colour as my face. How do you know you're even wearing it if it's the same colour as your face? What's the point in that? Maybe you should get one that's a different colour, because there's a change. Because if it's your face, like my face is this colour, so why would I want to paint it this colour? It would make no difference. You wouldn't know, would you? You'd be like, your face looks the same today, same tone as normal. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. So, thanks for noticing my makeup, or not, depending on how you want it. I don't know. I don't have to wear the chuffing stuff. No one does. Look, so, but they're painting their face, and then they're going on the nose here, and then it's like on the very end, a little white dot. Like, so I think it might be like the sun's caught my nose, the light's catching it. I don't know what it's supposed to do. I don't know why they're doing it. It wasn't the case when I was younger. Now, I used to do hair. I used to have people coming in the shop all the time, like different trends, whatever. If I started seeing people with little white, like, line and a dot drawn on their nose, there, look, I'm achieving it just by pushing the blood out of my nose, like that. And that's what it looks like. Little white dot on the end like that. If I saw people coming in with that, I'd struggle not to look and laugh and like, what have you done on your nose, mate? When you're young and you fall asleep and then you wake up and your friends had like written on your, drawn a pair of glasses on you. It's got to at least happen to everyone at least once, hasn't it? Once or twice. When that happens, it's like that. They've done it themselves, drawn a line and just a white dot on the end of the nose. Highlighter. How do you wear highlighter? Like, wait. Because in my brain, I can picture it. It's a highlighter. It's like a neon pen for when you're doing your studies and you want to do your notes. You've got a highlighter pen. What are you going to highlight? Highlight my smile. Wouldn't you? You'd highlight your whole smile. You want that bit. Your eyes. Highlight your eyes. They're the main bits, aren't they? The makeup. I can't think your nose is one of the... They do now. Bit of line down on the nose. They're like, have you seen my nose? It used to be all about the eyes. Do your eyes. Have your black line around your eyes so you know this is where they are. Bit of that, bit of colour. Bit of the stick on whatever. Lipstick. Mouth. Lipstick. That bit. The nose just kind of like disappears, doesn't it? Now they've got... I think what's happened is, now I've figured it out, the makeup companies have said, look, we're sending a lot of makeup for the eyes. We're sending a lot of makeup for the mouth. But there's a couple of areas of this face that are being neglected. So I want you to go in the drawing board. I want you to come up with a product for the nose. I want you to come up with a product for the nose so that people start buying more makeup off us. You wait. A couple of years down the line, they're going to be highlighting their ears. They're going to be... Well, they've got piercings on them, haven't they? They're going to be drawing little things that come down here and go up to the ears. And it's going to be all about the ears. And you're going to ear foundation or something. Ear contouring. That's what they do. Contouring. It's good, isn't it? It's popular though. It's big business. I don't want to quit. I'm going to use the hand dryer. So I'm using the hand dryer. My hands aren't dry yet. And these people are waiting. Well, I'm just going to dry my hands. Thanks. I mean, that's not being inconsiderate. That's the people who make the hand dryer how it is. That's not being inconsiderate. That's not my choice. I had to wait till the hands were dry. What do you want me to do? Touch the door with wet hands so that everyone else has to come out with wet hands? Hang on. Wait, you can wait. Everyone else has to, when they touch the door and they're like, who's touched this? I've just washed my hands and now I'm touching the door and it's wet. So, I wonder what that is. No one's touching the door these days, are they? If you've got any sense, you're using your elbows or you're kicking the thing. Here's a top tip, Scott's top tips. I love this one. This is one of my top tips. You know when you've got one of those pull ropes, everyone pulls the pull rope in the same place. I don't touch that there. I go higher up, like even on my tippy toes to give it a pull at the top. No one's touching it up there. That's the cleanest bit, mate. How about that if you've got a little light switch on a pull rope? So this, mildly considerate. I don't know what was going on. Someone was saying a story and I was moving my sunglasses. On this picture though, I'm wearing sunglasses and I've got them in my mouth. So I don't know what's going on. I'm dressed as some sort of 70s style. Love on the belt makes me think of hippies. The big V-neck and the big collar. What's going on? Number 36. You keep thinking these up, don't they? What's happening? People are getting out the lift. People are getting out the lift. I just keep... Look, I didn't press it until it was too late. I tried though, didn't I? Tried. It's your fault if you walked into the door. Taking the train with my girlfriend. Oh, hello. Hang on, wait. Hello. So there's a number of problems here. As I described, when I went to Rome, do as the Romans do. It's a phrase, but it's also what you do. It is also what you do. As I described before, I went to Rome and I did what the Romans did. I didn't start saying... I wanted to see this thing. We went around the Colosseum, but when I say around it, around the outside, I'm not going in, not paying the money. The Romans don't do that. They know it's there. Went round. I saw some of the things in the streets. Went up the big bit with the... Oh, God. You know the Trevi Fountain and the main bit with that big fountain, the Trevi Fountain. It's the main road, big tourist strip. I was surprised because I knew it was main part of Rome, but all the shops either side were like Chanel and like other designer brands. Dior. There's another one. Chanel. Hilfiger. Look, they're all up there on this main strip. And I thought, why have you put all these really posh? And she was like, because Rome's expensive, isn't it? This is the most expensive part of Rome, up the Trevi Fountain strip, up the main bit. So the most rich people have got the main shops here. But I thought, no, this is where all the people come. It's busy. I can't go in Chanel and buy myself something. You're keeping us on the streets here. What you need there is you need your cheaper shops. You're easier to get into and out of shops that everyone wants a little something from. Your news agents. Up by the Trevi Fountain. No, they go with the class. They go with world class. You have to be posh. You're not allowed to have a little news agent up there. You've got to be posh. And you wouldn't be able to afford it. Anyway, you'd have to sell a chuffing lot of... Tell you what, you'd have to sell a chuffing lot of chewing gum to... Well, you'd sell more because there's all people walking up there. Anyway... Forget my business sense. I did that a little bit, but mainly I did what the Romans did, didn't I? Mainly I did what the Romans did. So with that meant, if you want to travel, she gets the train, her friends get the train, we get the train, yeah? But in the UK, if I was on a date with a girl, I'd be like, I'll come and pick you up in my car, maybe. You know, polite, trying to be polite. And like, if we have to get the train... we don't have to get the train, maybe. I can be, you know, maybe a taxi, maybe it's rude now because it's not considerate for the environment, you know. But I'd be like, it depends where we're going, doesn't it? Depends where we're going. And I have been on trains with dates, but not on a date. I haven't been like, you know, I'll meet you at 8 o'clock for the date and then I'll take you on the train to go. No, we'll meet at the place or I'll pick you up in my car. I wouldn't expect them to go on like a public transport trip. Depends where we go. If we've been, you know, if we're going out for a while and we're going on a trip around London, we can use the train, yeah, absolutely. But that wouldn't be my no. Anyway, look, we're on the train. She's cross. We're on the train. She's cross. I haven't got a choice in the matter. So come on, get yourself sat down here. You get yourself sat down over there, away from the nasty people. Maybe that's the considerate thing. I don't know. But maybe it's inconsiderate because maybe I'm forcing her to sit away from people because I'm being like jealous. Oh, don't you sit down next to the men. Maybe that was inconsiderate. I don't know. I'll just let her choose where she wants to sit. My change is 3,201 yen. So There you go. There you go. I think that was because in some cultures they have a little dish. Hang on, wait. In some cultures they have a little dish and you put the change in the dish and then I take it so we don't touch it or something. But I don't do that in the UK. And some hand was coming in, so I went away from the funny hand and give it them. What's this? Line up. Oh, I pressed go away. Wait, I pressed go away by mistake. Oh, it's okay. Continue from last session. Okay. No problem. Number 39. I think there's 100. We'll go 100. I think there's hundreds, but we'll go 100. If it depends on how it works. Line up. Hang on, let me check the sound as well, because it's not. You tell me, I'm not being obscured by the game sound in the background. Depends on how it works. Line up. I'm not, am I? The music in the background is not. Oh, hang on, what? I'm missing it. Oh, how inconsiderate of me to not pay attention. Attention, it's even telling me. The music in the background's not on too loud, is it? He's not feeling well. So that was considerate of me. The tallest mountain in Japan is Mount Fuji. I am a doll made of wood. My whole body is made of metal. Now he's supposed to nose grow because he's lying. Pinocchio. I went on a group date with some idols. I don't know if you did or not. How do I know? I invented the light bulb. Probably not. I'm Mario. I was voted sexiest man again this year. What's going on with this nose? I was just scouted by a professional soccer team. They insured my legs. What? I could make a game like that. What the chuffing weasels was that? What the Piff Wizards was that? the little someone's drawn like a little chipmunk in PC Paint down the bottom there, and they put it in the game. They put it little chipmunk in PC Paint. Did you know what's happening in this game? No, I don't know what. I mean, I just seen it and I was like, that looks interesting, looks different. We played too much Pokemon. We need shorter bursts, little, one session, interesting, talk about them games. This was right up the street, wasn't it? Never heard of it before. Just, it's there. I got it. And the music's not too loud, is it? The music's not too loud. Because I can't monitor my voice and the music at the same time. Because my voice is delayed, so it makes my head go. You need to be considerate. You need to just check that I'm not. Because in the edit, if the music's too loud, I'm like, oh God, the music's too loud. It really annoys me. Because I can't tell. So you've got to tell me if the music's too loud. It's too late now. We've been running for how long? An hour and 20. Jesus. And how many have we done? I see what you mean. We're going to be like 3 hours long if we do 100. It's considerate to do what you're supposed to do, so things happen as they're supposed to. Is that right? I mean, his nose is supposed to grow then, I'm sure, because it's Pinocchio. But is it though? Am I the arbiter of Pinocchio's... How do I know when he's lying? Only he knows. Oh God, what's this? I'm the baddies. We're supposed to just like move around in a random pattern, yeah? Like that. If things aren't the same, out of line or not doing, it's rude. In Japan, if things aren't the same, out of line, oh my God. I am going to be the rudest, but I just, out of a common sense of not want, like, for example, this has blighted my life. When we were young, when we were kids, I mean, I'm not trying to be contrarian, but when we were kids, we were in school and we had this, we did the Vikings as like a school we did projects. We did Egyptians one season. It's not seasons at school, is it? Anyway, look, we did the Egyptians, and then we did the Vikings was a project, and like the whole school was doing like a project on the Vikings, and we did the Vikings. Then we moved on to the Romans, and after talking about the Romans for a bit, we were talking about the shields, and we were going to make them in class, make them out of like, we got these cardboard things. We were all making Roman shields, so I didn't know we were going to make them. That was what was lined up. So before we made them, we'd done the talking, said, now look, we're going to take discussion about the Viking shields and the Roman. The Vikings had round shields, and they moved them around. They fought with them. They ran around. Yeah, round shields. The Romans had better shields. Okay, so the Romans, what they did was they had these big, like, semicircle, big, like, tower of a shield, big thing. And the reason they're better is because you can stand next to each other as a group and form like a not a human shield, a shield. You know, you put all your shields together and it forms a wall. If you put all them together, and then they put the other. Once you've made that front wall, the others come around. They put some sides on it, and the others put the top on. They used to call it, I think they called it the turtle or the tortoise, maybe like a tank. So anyway, and they'd shuffle around like that with their pokey knives and pokey spears pointing out. And they've got a system. Your shields are better. The Roman shields are better. They've got a system. That was the lesson. So we did the lesson, and then next we were going to. I didn't know that next lesson we're going to make these things. So they're obviously hyping us up about how good they are. At the end of the lesson, it's like, so who we're going to do a vote? Who wants a Roman shield? And like, you know, hands are up. Like, who thinks the Viking shields are better and who thinks the Roman shields are better was the thing. And I'm like, no, I don't. I still think the Viking shield's better because we'd learned about them before. And they're like, no, like, we've done the lesson. The lesson is the Roman shields are better. So we'll have a vote. Who likes Roman shields? Yes, well done. You know, ticking the box. What's Scott doing? I'm like, no, I want a Viking shield. The Roman shields are not better. And I explain myself. Even this is like 10 years old. This is 10 years old. I'm articulate enough to explain myself. I'm like, look, you will do that tank. You will do that. Yeah. So I'm either in there doing nothing but my position, like holding my shield, waiting for people to, you know, I'm like a pass. I didn't know the words because I was 10. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm in the tank. I'm just holding my weapon. But if I'm the other person, if I'm the Viking and I'm attacking this, okay. Now bear in mind the Romans conquered England. The Celts were there first, then the Romans, then the Vikings. So I didn't know this at the time, but the Vikings invaded after the Romans. Then the Angles, Angles. Then the it was Celts, Romans, Angles, Vikings. CRACVN. Celts. Anyway, look. The point is that I said I would go at the people who were in their formation, and I wouldn't get stabbed by their spears because I've got my round shield that I can deflect things and move. And I'd get in close and I'd give them a stabbing. And if one of them came at me, if I was in in the woods and there was one Roman, one-on-one, I'd take him easy because he's like there with his big shield hiding, and I'm running around the back with my mobility and my moves. I'm imagining a battlefield with like it all going off, and I'm there with my mobility and my moves, and I've got my shield as part of my weapon set to deflect and to use as an offensive weapon, and I've got my weapon. Whereas you Vikings, you Romans, you're all stood still in a wall. Like, okay, I can't get past the wall, oh dear, but your head pokes above it and my sword goes over it, and I liked the Viking shield as a concept. I liked it, I was happy with it. They taught me it was wrong and I wouldn't have it. I'm not having it, so I wouldn't have it, right? That went by the by. We made some Roman shields the next day. I made my Roman shield, it went by the by. I stood my ground that day. I went home not accepting it. They brought it up in parents' evening that year. So I'm a 10-year-old, it's these sort of things that become defining. They call it self-fulfilling prophecy, where you hear something about yourself and then you kind of become it. But it became like a defining thing. It was brought up in parents' evening. Scott is different to other kids. Exemplified by the fact that, this is an example of it. He wouldn't accept that the Roman shields were he wanted to stick with his. Scott will argue till he's blue in the face. Scott will be too stubborn. Like, stubbornness is a negative here. And it was brought up and it was raised. Now, it wasn't the only thing that was raised, but it was something that my dad picked up on and keeps talking about to this day. The Roman shields and the Viking shields. It turned out years later, and you can look this up on the internet now. Thank God for Google and modern technology. They did, studies. They talked it through again. They've recreated battlefields. It's all different now these days, isn't it, from when I was a kid? And it turns out the Viking shield is better for all of those reasons I just said. It turns out the Roman shield does its job for what, you're explaining. It makes a shield and a wall, and you can do it. Yeah, but overall, if you're running around and you're a Viking, you're running around and you're a Roman, overall, one-on-one, tests show 9 out of 10 cats prefer the Viking. Like, they did it in simulated combat things, whatever. They wanted to answer this question on a more scientific level than just a hunch. And it turned out I was right all these years later. So in Japan, I would have been rude. And it goes with the same. Like, what kind of shoes do you want to wear? I don't know. We'll go and take a look at the shoe shop and I'll choose my shoes. Well, everyone's wearing the trendy shoes. When I was growing up, everyone had a pair. I'll show you this. I'll show you this on the web browser. Why don't I? Where is my web browser? Oh, web browser. Wherefore art thou, web browser? Well, I'm here playing GameCube music for you, you chuffer. So don't get asking me too many questions. It's rude. Right, well, Google, because I don't know if Ekoji's going to know it. Kickers. Oh, all of the typing. Come on, computer. There you go. Just reminded you to wake up. Kickers. Shoes. UK. We'll put 90s. Make me sound right. Images. This is the shoe. These are the shoes. Now, it's bringing back bad memories in a way. In a lot of ways, it is bringing back bad memories. I'll tell you for why. I'll show you the boys' version first. Where's my web browsing? The music picked up then, didn't it? The music picked up. Shut up. Oh, yeah, all right. Shut up. I want relaxing. That's more like it. So these shoes, everyone had to have a pair of kickers. I've never owned a pair of kickers. When I saw them, I thought, I don't like the ridge around the toe. I don't like that ridge around the toe. That's not for me. It's not the way I like my shoes. I'll tell you the way I like my shoes. I'll show you the way I like my shoes. There was one pair, and I should have bought 50 pairs of them, but they've gone now. You'll never get these again. Ecosia might bring it up. Let's see. Let's try Ecosia for this. Yeah, they're like them. They're like them. Not exactly. No, they're not them. They're not them. They're very similar. Adidas made a driving shoe, a Porsche designed driving shoe. They don't sell them anymore. You can't get them anymore. I used to wear them when they were out. This was the sort of style, sort of. Again, where's my browser, you idiot? Sort of like that. Again, not that though. Smart around the toe. Maybe that. Yeah, a bit more like that. Really smart trainers. They look more like smart shoes than trainers in a way, but they're trainers. Really smart trainers. And they were Porsche design, Adidas Porsche design. They're not exactly that. I can't seem to find the exact. That's very like it as well. In fact, that might be it. That might be it. Yeah, that's it. They came in slightly different cuts and colours over the years, and you can't really get them anymore. I should have bought about 20 pairs. What I'm looking for in a trainer like that is a smart toe, a smart shoe. I don't want all this rubbish that makes it look like a transformer. I just want it to look like a smart shoe. Driving shoes are the way to go forward for me for that. Anyway, looking at shoes, in the 90s we had these kickers, yeah? And every, moving things all the time, using my brain. Every young person in the area that went to school, because you could wear them for school if you went to the one school, my school, which is a grammar school, a driving shoe, yeah, driving shoe, like drivers, race drivers. Let me show you driving shoes. Designed like for it's driving shoes is like I suppose that's a good example, isn't it? Like, race cart boot sort of where's my browsing, move it again, like race cart boot sort of thing. And I like a driving shoe for the cut. That's for kids, the little kiddie ones. Ah, look at them for the little kiddie ones. I like the cut, I like the shape of the shoe. I don't want it to be a great big like chuffer on my foot. I want it to be a neatly tailored, smart shoe. But driving shoes often have all this like bizarre, logoing and stuff going on. But Puma do a nice BMW style. Look, there's a nice. That's a shoe that I can wear. Look, there's a shoe that I can wear. Web browsing. Look, that's a nice blue smart shoe. I mean, it's got a lot of holes on it. We're getting a bit excessive with the holes, but I just want a smart shoe that doesn't look like squashed kebab, and it doesn't look like a transfer. Anyway, getting off the point. In the 90s, I wasn't allowed to wear these shoes at school. These kickers. I wasn't allowed to wear these at school because you had to wear smart shoes for my school, my strict schooling. But the other school, the comprehensive, they were allowed to wear them, and all the naughty kids wore these, all the bullies and all the kids that would come steal your dinner money and push you over in the bush. Those sort of kids, all the cool kids. Oh, we're the cool kids, we're the street kids. Everyone had to wear a pair of kickers, and they'd go on about it as well. Like I'd be challenged for not wearing kickers sometimes by the kids that were wearing the kickers, and I'd think, well, you're an idiot, because look, they look stupid. They've got this boaty ridge around the top. They look silly to me. I'm not into them. But chuff it, the chuffers were, and I was bullied once by girls. It sounds bad, but you can't hit girls, can you? You can't do anything back. So what are you going to do? And I remember, like, just picture it in my brain. The female version of these kickers is this sort of, like, you can see it's the same shoe. It's got that ridge at the front, but they've gone big on the heel. Like, it's like this female version of this male shoe, the kicker. And every chavvy, like, ignorant, like the girls that would hang out at McDonald's, like, do you know what I mean? Every chavvy, ignorant girl used to wear these and, like, throw their weight around, and they're like, just be rude and aggressive. And I just recognise those shoes as that. Like, they feel like someone's being rude and aggressive to me. Yeah, we had funny shoe trends at times. So kickers. Everyone had to wear a pair of kickers. But I would not, like, it's not that the trend made me think, oh, I better get a pair of kickers then. I had my own mind about it. I was wearing different shoes. I was probably wearing Doc Martens at the time, which is equally a kind of trend, isn't it? Being a bit more punky or a bit more goth. But I'm not. It's not that I was punky or goth by choice of trend. It's that I look at things and decide if I want to wear them and like them, and then my sister tells me it looks stupid, take it off, or no, that's okay. But generally, I'm not about to be seduced by other people's opinions. So we're going back to what we're talking about. The big face. We might be different in America. If you hang out at McDonald's in the UK, it's like the taxi rank when you're drunk. When you're 16 or under, hanging out at McDonald's is like people who throw rubbish around and act like idiots and bully people. Those sort of people who might be like I was smoking early, but it wasn't because I was like street kid. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be mean about people. I'm not like anything who would, if you're hanging out at McDonald's and being mean to people, I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just saying, like, it used to go on. I mean, all those stories I told you earlier about fighting and stuff, none of that counts if you're under, like, 16. All the stuff that went on when I was under 16. I haven't told any of those stories. And, like, God damn it, like, there was no once my mate got attacked with a screwdriver, because there's, like, what are you going to do? There's no cameras. Back when we were growing up, no cameras. And the people used to hang out at McDonald's. They used to hang out at McDonald's. You couldn't go in McDonald's without walking past them out on the outside. You couldn't. People would knock your milkshake over and stuff like that. Just stupid stuff. But what are you going to do about it? Because you're just a kid as well, and they're bigger kids who have got like bigger bikes and attitudes and from the wrong side of the tracks. McDonald's was just the haunt, wasn't it? It was just the place they used to hang out. Anyway, and the people at McDonald's used to get it as well, I remember. Like, they'd have to put up with these, like, bad kids, essentially, being mean to them. And, like, they were working at McDonald's and they'd be throwing stuff at them and messing about, and they'd have to come and clear up, and, they're messing with them while they're clearing up. I just thought, I'm not into that. Not into that. Super Nintendo Switch. So, going back to Japan, which is where we are. Hello, everyone. Back in Japan. Being different, apparently, not having things go as the norm, I quite like that. I quite like to be the one that breaks the spell or the monotony. Don't walk on the grass is not, I'm not that naughty person who's in every private room, but don't walk on the grass is not a deterrent to me. If the grass needs walking on, if I need to, it's hard to explain. Maybe that's a bad one. Don't walk on the grass, because actually now I'm thinking about it. If everyone walked on the grass would be ruined. That's why they put the sign up. But here's another good example. When I was a little kid, I don't know if this is a good example or not. When I was a little kid, there was we went to this place called the Black Country Museum. Right, big face. Going to need to change the battery in a minute. The Black Country Museum web browser. You need the web browser. You won't believe this in America or anywhere else. The Black Country Museum. You won't believe this. It sounds nice, doesn't it? The Black Country Museum. The images that they put on the internet might even look nice. They might even seem appealing to you. It's canals and barges. It's an actual little town with shops and houses, and it's been kept like it was in the 1800s. You go in these little shops and houses, there's people in there doing their little Black Country Museum, living museum. It's a living museum. You go in there and they're actually in there, in their little shops and houses, doing things like this, look, with their costumes on. Apparently, theoretically with their costumes on above my head there, out and about. When you go as a school trip, so it looks nice, doesn't it? The Black Country Museum. You go walking around, there's all, ponies and people on bikes. It's a living museum, isn't it? Lovely. Wow. Little thing around every corner. When you go as a kid, you go because it's cheaper, I think this is the reason. I think it was because it's cheaper. You go in off season, like off peak time, as a whole school trip. And we didn't just go once, we went like 3 times, I remember. For some reason, it was like the school took us one year, and then they must have took us again the next year, and like maybe our parents took us, or, it used to happen. Like, you'd go to the same place 3 times. Anyway, like, by the 3rd time, I'd tell you a couple of stories. One time, we went, it's so bleak, we'd like go in the winter, and like, it'd be raining and cold, and there wouldn't be anyone in these little shops. Half of them would be closed up, or just, walk through, do not touch. Because all the actors are having the day off because it's not busy season. If you're in the summer season, you've got your horsey and you've got your fella on the bike. If you go in the winter as a school trip, you've just got like no one in any. The sweet shop's closed. It's raining. You're cold. You can't go in the places. You're out in the streets. You're just out in some streets, like rubbish. Like, some of them are open and what have you. And you go on a canal boat, yeah. You go on a canal barge. You go on the canal barge, and the canal barge, it takes you under a tunnel. I remember this vividly. It takes you under a tunnel, and they were showing you, because you'd have horses dragging the canal barges, yeah? Back in the day. You'd have horses dragging them. But, of course, you can't have a horse under a tunnel, because it's really tight, the tunnel. So what they'd do is they'd lie on their backs, like that. They'd lie on their backs, and they'd get kicking with their legs. You can see my socks now. My socks are fish. They're fish. So... anyway, look, they're kicking with the legs. They're kicking with the legs, and they propel the barge. They propel it through the tunnel by pushing it along with their legs, essentially, the barges, right? So that's what they'd be up to. That's what they'd be up to. Right, we've got no chat on screen, and it's happening. Hang on. You'd have a little sweet shop, but it would not be open. I'll tell you a little bit about it. I have been in the sweet shop at one stage, but so this barge thing, right? They push this barge with their feet. So what they do is you take your school trip in, and it's laden with coal. It's not like a nice way. It's laden with coal, but not really laden with coal, because you're a school trip, aren't you? And like, you're sitting in your rows of benches in one of these barges, and then you go under, and they say this thing about how, and they say, so now what you have to do, and it's us that has to do it. I remember lying on my back, putting my feet on the ceiling and pushing. I bet there was like, some sort of health and safety involved. I bet there was some people at the front doing it properly, and we were just like doing it for fun because we were school kids. But I was like lying on my back, pushing the thing with my foot. I was like, oh, this is a bit, I didn't realise I was going to be trapped in a tunnel unless my own physical labour was going to get me out. I don't like this. it's a bit claustrophobic, and I'm being asked to do manual labour on a coal barge. And then halfway through, they're like, and there's a ghost in the tunnel. And you're like, what? We're in it. We're in it now. You should have said this before we got in it. There's a ghost in the tunnel, and it's the ghost of an old woman or someone who she didn't duck and her head got knocked off. That's what they tell you. I'm not lying. This is the true, honest God truth. Old woman, her head got knocked off. She didn't duck and her head got knocked off. And they tell you this because as you come towards the end of the tunnel, they say, oh, what's this? And there's a little alcove. Like, the tunnel's tight. It's tight. You know, you can literally... I don't think you can fall in. If you put your legs up, you can touch the wall. It's that tight, yeah? It's that tight. And they've got a little alcove as you go up. And they go, oh, what's this? And they've hung like a decapitated skeleton corpse. They've hung it in the to scare you. It's like a joke fright. Now you're a child. This is before I went to secondary school. I was junior school. I was a 10-year-old, 8-year-old child being asked to manually propel the boat through the coal tunnel. Scary in the dark. Now there's a ghost. We're already in there. I've got to get the other side. Got to get out now. I'm starting to get anxious. And as we approach, they deliberately scare you. What are you going to do? You can't jump off the boat. I mean, I saw it. And I thought, that's not really a dead corpse with a head off. Is it? I'm wise. I'm streetwise. I know that's not what it is. So I saw that and thought that. But there was a scream sound effect. They put a sound effect in. Yeah, exactly. And it chuff you. Oh, man. What are they doing? So you do that in the dark, and that's horrible. And then you come out, and all the street stuff's closed. They did have a sweet shop open once. And, you go, oh, this is brilliant. Ye old sweet shop. That's the whole thing, isn't it? You go there, and you've got the sweet shop. That's the whole thing. I don't want to see how you used to make candles. I don't really care about your basket weaving. Get me in the sweet shop. Get me in the sweet shop. I've got pocket money. Get me in. I've been sent here with my pocket money. Get me in the sweet shop. You get in the sweet shop, right? And they do your sweets. Oh, yeah. They do your sweets. They do your sweets from the past, don't they? Not Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. They do your sweets from the past. They're like little rock-hard drops of pure sugar and menthol. Something like that. Like little rock-hard drops of pure sugar and menthol. They didn't have cola cubes. They didn't have pineapple chunks. They didn't have any of that. Rock-hard drops of little menthol. And they know there's kids coming. They know there's kids coming. So they don't have all the other jars. You're like, oh, what about them? No, they're all just display. We've got one big jar of rock-hard menthol drops. One big jar. Come and get your fill. We'll do you each a little bag. Oh, there's me. Right. Battery change. Nappy change. Grey kipper. Nappy change. Battery change. Yeah, so you get your little bag of rock-hard menthol drops, and you've all got the same bag of rock-hard menthol drops, like 30 of you. And like half of you don't even want them. Throwing them at each other, aren't you? Throwing them at each other. This is where we get into what's polite and what's... Because this is the crux of the story. I just have to get myself in focus. Otherwise I'll be impolite in Japan. I mean, I wonder if the Japanese... we're having to... My entire prism of Japanese-ness... My entire prism of Japanese-ness is Luke today, but I wonder if it might be seen as quirky or individual or fun in a way to be a bit different these days, now that westernization has opened more cultures to the diverse melting pot, even in Japan. I wonder that, because like what I'm trying to say is like I would do what I want a bit different sometimes. So this is where this story is going. Because this is the Black Country Museum, living museum. Or if you went when you were a kid in where I come from. And bear in mind, it's the Black Country. Do you know why it's called the Black Country? It's because Queen Victoria rode through, on her tour of her country, Queen Victoria rode through the West Midlands and Dudley, where this place is. And she looked out of the window of the carriage, and she was like, don't bother stopping. It's a black country, this place. We had all mills and coal burning going on, factories and coal burning. So the coal barges. She's like, this is a black country. You know, she didn't like it. It was all smoke and soot. And she was like, don't bother stopping. So the Black Country got its name like that. And we celebrate it. The other thing Queen Victoria and other places, what they do sometimes, Leamington Spa down the road from me. Leamington Spa is a nice town. It's Royal Leamington Spa, I'll have you know. It's not just Leamington Spa, it's Royal Leamington Spa, because a royal person stayed there for a bit in a hotel or some shit. I don't know. Queen Victoria stayed there on her tour of the country, so you get a Royal Leamington Spa. She didn't stay in Stratford, the adjoining town. We're not royal over here. She didn't stay in Warwick, Royal Warwick. It's not Royal Warwick, it's just Royal Leamington Spa. Only you get it. She didn't stay in the Black Country either. It's not the Royal Black Country. Anyway, so we go around this whole thing, right? It's a chuffer. It's a raining day. It's a chuffer. I'm not happy. I've had my sweets. They're rubbish. I'm wet. I'm cold. I'm not happy. We've gone round it. It's a chuffer. And before you get to the gift shop on the way out, because there's always a gift shop on the way out, isn't there? Where you can buy like a bookmark or something. On the way out, they've got this like little fun fairy bit. And of course, it's ye olde, isn't it? It's not a fun fair. It's old, so you can't. There's no real rides or anything, but they have this like canvas tented room thing of. I think it was actually a physical room. Now I'm thinking about it, of dusty old machines, the way they would have been. Like it's the amusement arcade. So I'm in there. I want to have some fun. It's the amusement arcade, but it's not an amusement arcade. There's no Space Invaders or anything. It's dusty old things. One of them was you put your money in and you wind this thing. And the thing flicks round, and it's like a picture book going round. And I'm like, well, that was a waste of 50p, wasn't it? Like, how dare you charge me money for that? Well, it was how they used to, back in the day. I was like, that's my money in that. That was a waste. I'm watching the other kids play the flick the ball machine, the pinball. It's not proper pinball. It's like a flick the ball machine. I'm watching these kids play these things. I'm like, these are all rubbish. These are rubbish. But there's one machine where you put your money in, and then you pull a drawer, and you get like a random toy. It was like one of these little toy. It was like a Victorian toy dispenser, and Edwardian. I don't know, Black Country Museum, old toy. It was like that. Like you put your thing, it drops out the bottom, and lo and behold, they didn't have little rubbish toys from the 1800s. They had actual modern stuff. Not brilliant stuff like a little compass or a whistle or whatever. A little toy, but plastic, modern. Stocked in this machine because kids are going to have them. You can't have Black Country, health and safety. Can't give them little lead toys, can you? So, little modern little toy. You don't know what you're going to get. It's random. Fun. Put your money in, get your thing. So I'm there, and it's an old machine, bear in mind. I've already lost 50p in the thing. They've already given me the menthol sweets. So I'm there, and I'm like, look at how this thing works. The thing, when it goes in there, you do your draw, and that releases this, and then the thing's dropping down one at a time. I was like, hang on. James, come over here. Get the drawer, right? Now hold it, right? And I've got my arm up in it at this point. He's holding the drawer. We managed to... I've got the toys. I've got my arm in, through the mechanism, into the bit where all the toys are. And I'm just pulling them out. They're in these little boxes that fit through the machine, that drop through the machine. I'm just pulling them out. I'm pulling all the toys out. I've got my arm up in there. And I'm pulling them all out. Toys for everyone, mate. Toys for everyone. We stripped that as bare as my little arm could reach, and then I held the thing, and so we got someone with the longest arm. You get your arm in it. How far can you reach? We were like distributing toys amongst the classmates. Toys for everyone. That was fun. Didn't get caught. No one knew about it. Didn't get caught. It was fine. And then we went back there. Like I said, you go back to these places. That was my little success. I was happy with that. I had my sandwiches, got on the bus home with everyone else. We went back with some family friends, like probably 18 months later. And this family were a little bit posh. Okay? A little bit posh, maybe. The reason I say that, they're not that... Maybe, we lived in the same village. So I'm not saying they were posh or whatever. But the reason I say that was because his mom used to keep the living room absolutely immaculate. Like my mom... Bless her, she tried, but me and my sister were not going to let her keep that house tidy. Do you know what I mean? But Lynn used to keep the house absolutely immaculate. And like, not just the front room, the play, every room, like, it smelled nice, the carpets were clean, the place was absolutely like a show home. And there were nice things on shelves that you could knock off and break, and it made you feel like you had to behave just in case you didn't want to tread mud in that carpet, I swear. I think yeah, this is him now. This is my mate from when I was a kid. I don't know him now. You know, I haven't seen him since we were like 11. But he grew up to become like an actor in Downton Abbey. Have you heard of Downton Abbey? He was in Downton Abbey, and he's an actor and a singer. An actor and a singer. Like a West End singer. I should try and get him on the show. Like, it's mad how, you know, lives go, isn't it? You know, when we were kids, we were friends, and you don't see. Like, I think they moved away, or we moved away. I think they moved away. You don't see each other for like, you know, 30 years, and that's your life. There he is. There he is. So we were friends. We were kids, and he's turned out. You see, his mum kept the house immaculate, and he's turned out nice. Do you see what I'm saying? So we were there with them, with Andrew, at the Black Country Museum, and I'm saying to them, him and his brother, get in this place, you get your arm up in there, and we'll rip this machine to bits. And like, sorry, my headphones are breaking. I could be an actor. They could get me on that. Get me on that. I'd do, you know, I'd be a good actor. Get me on that. So I've got Andrew, and I've got his little brother, and we're ripping the machine to bits, and we're pulling things out, and his mom's got us, and like, what are you doing? I don't know. Like, you know, trouble. Have you got my mom, and have you seen what he's doing? Oh, it's trouble. I'm in trouble now. Got away with it on the school trip, didn't I? There was so much going on, busy with kids. You know, he's playing on that machine, she's playing on that machine, they've all got toys, whatever. You know, you get on the bus, you're gone. But this time, Andrew, where have you got all those toys from? You know, Scott, where have you got all those toys from? We only give you 50p. And I'm like, got my hand in the machine while they're telling me, you know, oh God. So the moral of this story, I'm sure there was some reason, wasn't there? Some reason I've got so far off track, wasn't there? I'm sure there was some reason. The moral of this story is, if I lived in Japan, right, and I did that, it'd be naughty, wouldn't it? Like we've been told, anything that doesn't work the way it's supposed to, and if you're not making it work the way it's supposed to, if you're deliberately, you know, going against the flow, making it work a different way, subverting it, then that's frowned on. That's actually inconsiderate, bad manners. Now, in a way, I totally get that. Like, you know, everyone's coming down the stairs. It's a downstairs stairs, and you're trying to go up it. You're putting everyone else out, aren't you? You know, I totally get that. Systems that are supposed to work for the social good, you know, that should work in a certain way, absolutely. But if no one's prepared to try walking up the stairs if they need to, you might end up walking downstairs that you don't, you know, you might forget to question why you walk down the stairs in the first place. You know, I think it's important to shake things up and to just, you know, question and change. And okay, you know, maybe we don't. I used to wear my onesie sometimes. Like, wore a onesie to the supermarket to do the shopping, and someone was like, "Why are you wearing a onesie? Everyone else is wearing normal clothes." And I was like, "Well, you know, just like to keep people guessing. Keep people. I don't wear it because I wanted to keep people guessing, but I said, you know, it's all right for people to, you know, do different things and to. And would that have been frowned upon? He's wearing his onesie at the supermarket, doing his just day-to-day shopping. Why are you not dressed normally? I don't know. Anyway, we don't want to quit. We've got a date. She's got a date with her boyfriend today. Hotel Love Nest, Outdoor Cafe Prairie. I'm her. I didn't know. I don't know what the correct thing to do there was. Oh, look, there we go. On your marks, set, I've gone. I didn't realise. Chuff that one up, went too quick. Number 44. Here we are with the flame. What am I doing? I've got a cigarette. Go on, out you go then. Have it, light it. Oh, thank you. And it's inconsiderate to not light it, isn't it? Because, you know... Number 45. We're all going to cut this. Something's waiting. And we begin. Press the button. Are you ready? Go. I told you go. I said to go. That's not inconsiderate. I said to go. Progress update. You've been naughty now. You've been naughty. That was naughty. It doesn't say inconsiderate. It says mildly considerate. I think it means inconsiderate. Number 46. If it's a sprint race, though, you want to get an advantage, so go quick. Oh, look. Just get on there. And you. Right? I mean, this is tough, isn't it? Considerate, not killing people. One of them's gone at the top. I don't know what the correct answer was there. Suddenly I was playing a platformer, where I was the platformer. Here I am, I'm on the train again. Now, I understand they probably ride the train a lot more in Japan and places where it's a lot cleaner. But train etiquette, like, I've been on trains where people are just going off. So if I'm sat there not causing a fuss, that's enough for me. Like, I've seen people going off. If you've ever been on a train to the football and back, the train etiquette on the way there is to drink your beers and way the football, and on the way back is to be like, oh, those beers, oh, the football. Like, it's... oh, I've quit by mistake. Okay, sorry, by mistake. Consider it. Continue. We're on the train, mate. We're on the train. Training. I am on the train. Training. Oh, look, that can's rolling around. Training. Should I just get it? Yeah, I'll just get that with my foot. How considerate of me. The only chuffer who thought of it. None of you chuffers did anything. So wait. We've got to stop that. Wait, you're in charge of the decorations. You have a little pause for a minute. I'm just going to get a refill on my drink, and we've got to discuss whether it's considerate to stop the can because you're in the train and the can's going around and, you know, people don't want that, or if I've been the one to step out of line. Because in Japan, not having things go the way they're supposed to, being the one to step out of line, being the, you know, the one to wave your flag and stand up when everyone else is sitting down, that might not be considered polite, mightn't it? Oh, my brain is going to break. So stepping out of line there for the greater good, but, you know, maybe I've taken one for the team, but maybe the team hate me and think I'm impolite. Don't worry, Marlo. Everything's okay. What, have you not had your dinner? I bet you've not had your dinner, have you? Hang on. Just taking a quick comfort break to feed the dog as well. Right, everything's sorted. Everything's sorted. Doggy fed. You know, I don't know if he was fed earlier or not, so he might have got an extra little dinner there, but doggy fed. Watered. Everything's cool. The closer timing, the better. Okay. Everyone's waiting. And we begin. Sometimes it's under the chat and I don't know. Ready. Go. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What are we doing? On the escalator there. Standing on the... There you go, look. Move over for the people who want to walk down. I know that one. Stay to the right! Stay to the right! Stay to the right! I know that one. Although, I tell you what. Pause me. I saw a video the other day on the old YouTube. Saw a video. And it was a fella, and he was on the thing, and he was on the wrong side. And the fella behind him was like, can you move out of the way? It was like that. Like, you're being inconsiderate. You're in the way. Like, being inconsiderate in the way. And the fella in front of him was... I don't know who was filming it. But the fella in front of him that was in the way was like, no, that's my dog. Because his dog was in the way. He was like, that's my dog. My dog's a guide dog. He can't move. Because we're on the moving escalator and he's trained to not move. So he can't move. And I'm blind, so I can't move. So we're not going anywhere. Stop being so rude. And like the video was kind of like, you know, how dare this guy ask this guy to move? What a rude man. But I felt really sorry for the guy because I imagine like he probably thought, oh, can you not just move your dog? You're being inconsiderate. I'm busy and it's normal to be inconsiderate of people and rude to them if they're in the way. And, you know, you've got this stay to the right thing where everyone knows about it. And what are you doing not knowing about it? People are so set in there, like, how does somebody not know to not, so they get angry, yeah? And I see it, I get that. I don't think you should put it out there and, you know, make everyone else feel bad. But because they're so used to it being a certain way, they're surprised when someone else doesn't get it even. They're like, how did you not know this? Welcome to London. You know, catch up or die. But being rude to this guy, suddenly he obviously felt bad because, you know, the guy's blind. He didn't carry on going. The video was short. But I imagine he just thought, like, oh, God, you know, I've said that now. Oh, God. What you booking for? What are you booking for? Hey. What's going on? That's on the internet, you idiot. What's going on? You got your squeaky in there. You got to get it out yourself. Not your squeaky delivery. It's got the chuffing squeaky caught between like a cushion on the sofa and something. He's like, if I go in and he's dug up the sofa, that's up to him. But, you know, get your own squeaky out. Anyway, it makes me forget what I was talking about when I get up and do that. It makes me forget. So we're in China. No, we're not. We're in Japan. What am I saying? We're in Japan. Get it right. That was rude. That was rude. If you're in Japan and you say China, that's rude, isn't it? I bet they don't like that. And it's not rude, is it? Because I'm from as far away as you can get. And they're quite close over there. So, you know, me being a bit confused sometimes, because I'm from as far away as you can get, like, it's like them being a bit confused about the difference between Scotland and Wales and England or something, isn't it? I wouldn't feel aggrieved. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, rude. We get loads of Chinese people come through where I live. Hey, you're not getting booking. It's not happening. You know, and I wouldn't be cross if they thought I was from Scotland. Anyway, we're in Japan, and we're the arbiter of social norms and values, which is really good as a concept for a game. What a brilliant thing! What a brilliant thing! I don't want to quit. I can read Japanese now these days. I wish I had a bike. Leave it, big bro. Leave it to big bro. Road race competition. Okay, I've got to win to get this kid the bike. Oh no, that's the kid who's crying. Who will win the new bicycle? This is the final stretch. Do I want to let them win or do I want to win? I'm just going to let them win, am I? Just going over a bit of a tin can there. I'm holding back letting them win. Right. I mean, that's really nice of me, isn't it? I don't know how socially acceptable it is or not, but in some way or another, considerate. I think what they're trying to say there is like, you know, you put your foot out. That was the main one, wasn't it? Are you going to be the one to stick your foot out? Are you going to be different and stand out from the crowd when it's necessary? Are you going to stand up to the bullies if you have to? You know, are you going to say, hang on, no, wait, don't talk to her like that. Don't talk to him like that. What do you mean, me? I've not got the best advice for that. Marlo, you're going to have to come here with your daddy. Daddy's not going to go there and fix it. I've not got the best advice for how to talk to the people. I do know Darren Brown suggests that you ask them these conflicting questions. So someone's like, oh, you're looking at me. Oh, you want to cause trouble with me? Oh, you trouble. And you say, for example, have you noticed how the trees around here are a lot shorter than the trees that grow in Spain? Although the walls in Spain can be very low. You know, do you want to sit on this wall here with me? They might. What it's supposed to do. I mean, I don't know if that's going to avoid your head getting kicked in, but what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to deflect their thinking into like they're confused and angry, and you start asking questions that don't really have proper answers. That aren't like you can't be like in primal human. You're being confusing and non-aggressive and non-confrontational in that sense, and it's hard to not be confrontational with people who really want confrontation. It's hard to be saying, why don't we sit on this wall? Oh, you're telling me to sit down. But if you said the trees in Spain are much bigger than the trees around here, have you noticed how the trees form outwards? I'm like, what? It was a bit like when I said earlier on, I gave that kid the chocolate, I offered him the chocolate. It just happened naturally that way then. I didn't think about it. But Darren Brown suggests that you can essentially knock the brain off its thought track, a bit like when I have to go and deal with this dog in a minute. And then they're like just drunk and confused. So when you then suggest sit on the wall, then I'll probably take you up on that suggestion. And drunk, confused people who are sitting down on a wall are less, it's about physical momentum and aggression again. Like you're reducing that aggression, and they apparently they quite often cry. They quite often get upset and cry because they feel confused. I'm just gonna have to see what this dog's barking at. I just have to do it. The dog wanted to go out the back, so I've let the dog out the back, and I'm going to go and let him in again in another 5 minutes. So it's bad for the broadcast, but it's it's good for the dog. So that just has to happen. And yeah, apparently you can confuse people. I've read it in a book. I've never tried it in practice. I've never had that. It's kind of like being brave in the lion's den, isn't it? In that, because it doesn't involve running away. And it doesn't involve really confronting the people. But apparently it works for Darren Brown. But he's got skills. He's got skills. I don't know if I've got those skills. So I wonder if it's the best thing to stand out from the crowd when it's important. When it's time to, stand up for what's right. When you know it inside, but no one else is doing it. You don't want to be the first one. But in those situations, I'm definitely happy to be the first. Not happy. I remember once having my arm twisted round and nearly broken, and someone jumping on it because I stepped in and said, "Stop doing that to him." And they said, "All right, we'll do it to you instead then, you chuffer." That was a good one. I was like, maybe this has gone the wrong. That wasn't my suggestion. My suggestion was stop. And that was what I was going to say. I don't have the best words in those situations. I instinctively say what I think. Leave him alone, or leave them alone. Stop doing this. Pick that up is a good. If you see people throwing the litter around, I say pick that up. I'm just angry inside. I just say it. Pick it up, and then they go like, "You what? Are you fucking what? You tell me to pick that up?" No, then another way to do that is, "Oh, have you dropped that, mate? Sorry, mate, you dropped that," and you pick it up for them as if you're doing them a favour. Because if you drop your phone, you'd be like, "Oh, mate, you dropped your phone. Oh, look, you dropped whatever that is that belongs to you. It belongs to you, whatever that is. Oh, is it just rubbish?" Quite often they'll say, "It's just rubbish. I don't want that." And I'll say, "Oh, put it in the bin then." And then there's a fight to be had about that, isn't there? But I'm like, I'd rather say it, just say the words, because they're the words, aren't they? Than not say it, than let it go and just be like, oh, well, today I had an opportunity to make the world different and I just let it go because the people that wanted to make it different in the rubbish way, they win. I'm not having that. Oh, that was another threat in the fight. I think I've told you this one before, but we might as well, since we're telling stories. When I had the dog that used to do the biting, when I had the dog that used to do the biting, bear in mind, I was down the end of the road, walking him on the grass, and this big coach had been parked there. It's a tourist coach. They don't usually park in our residential area. I don't care if you parked in our residential area. It's obvious that you're further down the road where the tourist bit is, and you're having your sandwiches, and you're going back there in a couple of hours. I get it. You're just not waiting in their car parks. You want to save a few bob. Fair enough. Whatever. You're having your sandwiches. He throws the crisp bag out the window. And I'm there with my dog, and the dog goes for the crisp bag, and he's trying to eat it. And so I've picked it up out of the dog's mouth, which is, for me, an issue. Because if I have to put my dog near my hand near my dog, that's the bitey dog that I used to have. That rescue dog, love him as I did. Danger to people and to me. So I had to get the crisp bag off him, got it. And I'm not happy about this situation. So I've gone back over, I've tapped him on the window of the big coach bus. And I said, mate, you dropped something. I've done that and I've offered it him. And he's took it off me and just thrown it back at me. I'm like, what the chuff are you doing, you chuffer? So it's blown away in the wind. I've gone round, picked it up, and I've come round and I've put it through. I haven't knocked on the window this time. It's half open. And I've just got it up and I've put it through like a slam dunk. Put it through like that. And he's not happy about that. Yeah? He's not happy about that. And then I've gone round the front of the bus and I've got my phone out because, fuck you. I've got my phone out and I'm filming the front of the bus. Like, this is because it's obviously got all the logo for where he works, hasn't it? Now he's thinking, oh God, like, this chuffer's going to get me in trouble. I wasn't gonna. I was just wanting to make sure of, if anything comes back to bite me, I've got you on video, being a chuff. If you want to carry on being a chuffer, let's see it. Because this is the day and age of the mobile phone now. And I'm stupid because he starts to get out of the bus. So immediately I turn off the phone and put it in my pocket and I'm ready. I should have kept the phone on him, shouldn't I? I didn't do that anyway. And I had this dog that bites people. So all of a sudden I'm worried because if this guy kicks off and my dog bites him, yeah, then we're going to have trouble. And it's going to be the sort of trouble that I can't really fix and could lead to serious, consequences. So he's a big chuffer. He's come out of the bus and he's a big chuffer as well. And he's come over and he's like remonstrating, like, what's wrong with you? And like, I'm worried about my dog, and he's remonstrating. And I've just said to him, look, we're nice people around here. We don't need you throwing your litter. I said something along the lines of, I don't care if you park your bus, but we're nice people around here, and we don't need you coming to throw your litter and rubbish up the place. And he's gone to throw a punch at me, along with saying, well, I'll show you what kind of people Southern people are, or something like that. And I've instinctively turned to the dog, because I don't want the dog to attack him. The dog's eating the crisp packet, isn't it? My dog's not going to protect me. My dog's eating the crisp packet. So the punch is coming and I'm ducking and, swerving and avoiding, and the dog is eating the crisp packet. And he's thought better of it after that. He swung the one punch and he's thought, chuff this, and got in the bus. I don't know. I think I took the crisp packet and must have just took it with me. There was no more fighting. I carried on my dog walk. These things go on, don't they? It's different to Japan. It's different in Japan, it seems. In Japan, everyone's nice. Not down south, apparently. Not if you drive a bus for a particular company, which I'm not naming and shaming. I could have this guy. I've probably got his photograph, but... Oh, what's happening? Oh, I should have read the thing. It's wobbly. I'm just going to go and sit down over here where all the similar shaped heads to me are. Here we are. This is a wedding, or it's a wedding, ladies and gentlemen, because of the flowers. Please stand for the bride. Absolutely. What am I going to do? Not stand for the bride? I'll probably face that way as well if everyone else is. That's just social pressure. That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about. I would never, if I'm playing the game here, I'm trying to win. So, wait. Playing the game, I'm trying to win, so I turned. But in real life, just because you're all turning, just one person does it, you're all sheep. I know what you lot are like. I know what you lot are like. No, not you, obviously. The people that are watching this, they've got discretion. But I know other people. I know what they're like. So I don't do it. I think instinctively not to, because like if everyone's doing it and they're all like sheep, then maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Like, so if everyone turns, I like look the other way. Like, see what you're turning from, what's over here. Do I need to look this way before I make my decision? It often works out better to think things through. But in this game, and the fact that I know it's supposed to be the correct thing now, I'm supposed to do the correct thing now. Third finger, left hand. This one. Get it right, mate. It's no, I got it wrong. No, get it off there. Yes, that one, mate. It's a wedding, for Christ's sake. Adhere to social convention. Number 54. I feel like part of my individuality is slowly being stripped of me while I attempt to fit in and not subvert these social situations. And now I realise why I'm such a difficult chuffer all my life, because I refuse to fit in and attempt to subvert social situations. Do you know if you go somewhere and there's a microphone on the stage, you know someone gets on and like messes about sometimes, usually me. Do you know what you mean? Do you know what I mean? You know, you're not supposed to. I'm not that bad a chuffer. But like, I don't mind doing a bit of messing about. Messing about for fun. Don't mind doing a bit of messing about. Have you ever, this is a good question that illustrates this, have you ever been in a supermarket that you don't work in the supermarket and you found the button to go ding, ding, ding. Good afternoon, shoppers. I'll give you an announcement at Chopper 2. Kind of feel, kind of Pittsburgh. Thank you. You know, you found that and you pressed it and you've done that. I've done that. I don't go around doing it every day in the supermarket, but in my time, I've pressed the button and I've said the thing on the thing. I don't work there. I've just had fun. So, you know, you tell me. Oh, the dog's got to come in. Hang on, the dog's got to come in. Dog's in now. Got your dog in. Right. I'm not going to interrupt the game. I'm going to carry on. Even though my kilobytes stacked then, I noticed. You chuffers. What's happening? I didn't want to catch that. I've not tried to catch that. It's just landed in my lap. That wasn't fair. I'll throw it on. Progress update. You chuffed up the wedding. You ruined the wedding. Whose wedding did I ruin? Did I ruin someone's wedding once doing something like that? No, I didn't. Oh, once at a wedding, me and my friend were so drunk that we did the first dance. But, you know, you're supposed to not... No one dances on the dance floor until the bride and groom. And then they invite everyone on. That's the way it goes. You're all sitting at the side of the dance floor. You've all had your drinks. Everyone's sort of ready, you know, ready to have a little boogie. But you're waiting for the first dance. And me and my friend Greg were smashed, and we like clattered across the dance floor in each other's arms, both wanting to be the lead of the ballroom extravaganza that was our first dance as two ushers. And I didn't realise, and someone said to me, "You've got to wait for the first dance." And I thought, oh God, yeah, you do, don't you? You know, I wasn't intending to break convention. I just thought, why isn't anyone dancing? This is a party. We'll get it kicked off, me and Greg. We'll show them how. Like, it was a mistake. Shouldn't do that. Number 56. I'm pushing, you're crying. So don't let go. Don't let go. You better not let go. Well, I'll just stay really close so you think I'm touching it, but actually I'm not really. So, oh. No, I'll let go. You want to let go because you want them to think you're holding it, and then you're actually really close, but you're not. And you say, actually, you've done that yourself. I did let go. Well done, you. You can do it now. You know how to do it. What's happening? Holiday. For the boss or for me? What did they say? They said something about having a vacation. Am I only allowed to... Oh, it's too late. That's gone by. I was going to say, am I only allowed to do one? So I just give us all the days off, and then we'll all have the day off. Lunch with a girl in a white dress. French or curry udon? I'm assuming French is cleaner and less likely to go on your dress. Is that right? That's a bit of a funny one because it's based on strange conventions about food which might not be correct, and also her ability to put the food in her mouth. Add to cart. Arcade, seafood fight, crab, KUUKIYOMI. Oh. Think I know the answer to that one. Hey, number 60. Pretty anime girl eating an apple. Oh, she's dead. There's dwarfs. It's Snow White and the dwarfs. He's going to kiss her. She's awake. That's us. That's us, isn't it? We're awake. Just a bit of fairy tale there. So, I've got no idea what that fairy tale was about. Plainly considerate. I mean, I don't know what I did. Number 61. I'm on the train again. It's got a lot of public transport situations, this has, hasn't it? Different kind of seating arrangement. You're sweating. You're right. Yeah. What's up? Do you want me to get up? I'll get up. Bit of a weird one. Sat next to Sweaty. Here we are at the barbecue. I don't eat meat, but the smoke's getting in my eyes. So... Oh no, I am the smoke. I'll just considerately blow over there in that guy's eyes. And again, just considerately blowing in his eyes. Ah, have a bit of that. I am nature. Thou art my test piece. Number 63. Cold sake. I've drunk a bit of sake. I don't drink any more. That hand movement means excuse me. Okay. If they're doing that, I'd get up and out of the way, wouldn't I? Press the button to stop. You only want a little drink in sake. You don't want a big one. Got that wrong. You're only supposed to have it in little bits. Sleepy, got to take a nap. Is that me? I'll put my chair back. Is it me that's sleepy? Put it right back. If I'd have known how far to go, I'd pull it back at the last minute. You know, put it back up. But it's too late now. My yearly exam. Here we are. We'll start with a urine test. I don't have a... Please fill this up. Brimming. Brimming. Keep going. Brimming, mate. Say when. I can't press the button to stop. I'm doing a wee-wee. It's not my choice. It just comes out. No stopping. I know the correct answer was to stop in a small amount. You don't need loads of urine. That one. But maybe they want more. Maybe they want, you know... Maybe it's more considerate. Maybe... They didn't like that, though, did they? They picked up on that. The urine. Go and get tickets to the soccer, Grandma. Only 3 tickets left. So... I'll get a ticket. What? I'm playing. I'm a cowboy. That's Clint Eastwood. It even looks like him. It even looks like him. No, I just want to put us back a minute. I was thinking about that line. I went in the line because I wanted the tickets. There were only 3 left. There was 2 grandchildren, weren't there? So maybe I'm going to get too many. I can only get 1 ticket. The one person that could have gone solo, I've took their ticket now, and now I've got to choose between 2 grandkids. Oh, maybe that was the wrong choice. Maybe I should have considered more the rest of society and let that. But at the end of the day, right, I've been sent out to get tickets. I'm going in the line and I'm asking if I can blag another one. Oh no, I mean, I've got 2 grandkids. They're only small. One of them's gonna cry a bundle if they don't get the tickets. I know there's only 3 left. Can you not just? You know, I'm going to give it a bit of that. And if it doesn't work out, whatever. But, like, it's not my fault about the tickets. I'm not trying to, like, create cosmic harmony. Am I? I'm not out to try and allocate tickets to create cosmic harmony. It's just stuff in a shop. Anyway, with events like that, Eddie Hearn at Matchroom Boxing, he's like, we sell out our tickets. And then other people put them on StubHub and it's bad. They put them on like the secondary market and it's bad. Who'd you sell them out to? Overnight. With all your friends. You're a family business, aren't you? All your friends and your family business. You know, I'm sure one of your friends and family in business might want to buy a load of tickets, mightn't they? It's not me. It's not me doing it. It's nothing to do with me. They just sell out. But they arrive on the secondary market. It's weird. So I'm playing cards with Clint Eastwood. He's walked in. I didn't realise it was something I was supposed to do. Here's a finger. Oh, I'm a dragonfly. I'll just fly on by, thanks. Not interested in your finger. You can't be impolite if you're a dragonfly. There's no concept of manners as a dragonfly. Wild West again. Let's do it. I'm just going to walk out here. Bang! Have a bit of that. You should have walked out as well. You weren't ready. It's not my fault. You got shot in the buttocks. Number 70. This is... do you want the umbrella? Ah, you have the umbrella. I bonked you on the head. Ah, look, I'm bonking you on the head. Bonking you on the head, look. Have a bit of that. So, at least that cheered her up in the rain. Didn't it? That cheered her up in the rain. I got this wrong. Or didn't I? I don't know. I mean, I'm playing poker, so I'm not supposed to get up and start running around, am I? I'm not supposed to get up and start running around. If anything, Clint Eastwood coming in, he should say, oh, sorry, didn't see you playing cards there. You crack on. Crack on, I'll do my big entrance in a minute. Can I get you a drink? That's what I should have said. No. Is it my turn to play poker? Even in poker, even if it is your turn, you don't have to do anything. That's part of the game. You can sit there looking ooh, moody or ooh, happy, can't you? Looking at the board going, is there any more aces in the pack? Well, I've got 2 of them and there's only one down there. What's the probability to think of another ace? Oh, I'm not supposed to say. I'll bet 100. He's bluffing. Bet 100. He's bluffing. I'll bet you 100. Something in the night scenery with your girlfriend. Here we go. There's people in the car having it. We just don't want to... There's loads of people snogging. We'll just go... Do you want to go there in the middle? Oh, we are snogging. Okay. Equidistant from everyone else. That's probably right. There's a dog. The family's calling. Oh, the whole family's calling and I'm a little doggy. I mean... I don't know what's socially acceptable. I was going to go to the daddy because I'm my doggy's daddy, but I don't know what the socially acceptable... Make little 1 inch... The tail of little 1 inch. Make little 1 inch bigger with the magic mallet. What? I'm sweating. So I've messed that up. I think I'm in the wrong section. Me? I'm cheering for the wrong team. Yes, have it. Have it. No, up you go with your flag. Get up with your flag, you ninny. Stop. Yes, have it. Have it. Who are you? And then it all collapses. Then they all jump on you. But, you know, if you manage to get in that situation, you absolutely go mental and support your team. Yeah, I'm trying. Don't worry. So easy to get you to fall into line, isn't it? Look. So easy. So easy to get you to fall into line in life. So easy, isn't it? You know what Michael Jackson did, though? Didn't mess around like everyone else, did he? He's the one in the front doing the dancing. Everyone else is doing that. Michael Jackson's like in the front doing his dancing, look. Michael Jackson now in the front doing his dancing, though. It is Michael Jackson's moves. So you don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Look, you want to Michael Jackson it in the front. Oh, I've slipped into line by mistake there. There we go. Bye-bye. Thanks for your... Strange. But that really says something about life, that one. It really does say something about life. What? I'm not sure. But in some way or another, consider chuff off. I'm the leader. Gary Glitter, mate. Well, probably not Gary Glitter these days. Just because of the song, I'm the leader, I'm the leader. Probably don't want to lead where he's following, do you? Gary Glitter. Probably not that. I'm Michael Jackson, mate, aren't I? I'm the smooth... Well, probably not these days. I mean... Look, anyway. Number 76. It's been a good match. Let's head home. Come on then. Look, I'm just shuffling around. Look. Doing my little shuffle. Truffle shuffle. Having a little shuffle behind the seat. See if there's anyone left any money. And get out of there. It's not my job to clean up. They've got the bags. I didn't leave any mess, did I? So that was... Oh, I'm asleep. They're talking. I'm in the car. I just try not to fall asleep while they're talking there. That's considerate, isn't it? Although the whole point is maybe that I sleep so that I can drive next. Who knows? Out of context. Number 78. Let's cross at the crosswalk. Go on then. What are you doing, you chuffer? You stop for me, mate. I'm crossing at the crosswalk. Let's come back. Oh, I can't. Number 79. Making cold Chinese noodles. That's me. That's us now. Put the noodles out on the plate. Bro, look, it's a Ceta. Why were they Chinese noodles if we're in Japan? It's a don't touch it. We're going to watch over our eggs. It's all getting a bit extreme, isn't it? I think you should just leave it alone, eh, kids? What's happening? There's a fisherman. We've got sticks. I'm crying. Made me feel bad. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why you make me feel bad like that. Very vaguely considerate. It's only 20 more. We'll push on. Learning about what... I mean, I feel like if I go to Japan, this is going to help me to... Dad's DVDs, all the books. I'll take the big thing of books, yeah? I don't know how this is going to... Like... Is this preparing me for life in Japan? Here we are, teaching. Doing a bit of teaching. So, everybody better listen up. Doing the... I'm in the way. So, you need to see the formulas. Are you ready? And go. There's the formulas. Number 83. This is me. There's a car coming. Let's get out of the way. Obviously, that's not about consideration, is it? Why am I in the way now? I'm walking over the car. I wanted to go out of the way. What's going on? What's happened? Like, it's not about consideration. You just get out of the way of the car, don't you? Because you don't want to get hit by a car. It's 2nd of February. I'm the devil. So... The evil Mr. Rogue was cast down into hell. However, since he once saved a spider in the past, the Buddha lowered a thread of spider silk down to him. Seeing it, he went climbing the thread. But others also crowded round, and they all wanted to climb up, but the thread's not going to have that. He was like, if you all try and climb at once, it's not going to work. We'll make a line and we'll all climb one at a time. When you get to the top, call down to the next person. I'm the Buddha. What? I wasn't going to snip his string. That was a good idea. Right, moderately considerate of being in class. Well done. I'd make a good teacher. But not the Buddha. The Buddha doesn't make a good teacher because you can't understand what the chuff they're going on about. Shake. I'm trying. Oh, I have to physically shake it. I didn't know about that. I'm doing it, you chuffer. Shake. I got a hat. Got a hat for that. There we are. On the old train. I've sat down. I didn't mean to. I sat down on someone. I didn't realise that had happened. I just moved the button to see what had happened. That was very inconsiderate. Hit the old volleyball there. Hit the person there. Hit the volleyball. Oh, I've tried anyway. Get off, that's my volleyball. That's how you play volleyball. Got to fight for it. Number 89. Not until you ask me for my daughter's hand. 3, 2, 1. No way. What? It's once in a century. It's an eclipse. I'm the moon. I've got to force the eclipse myself. I've messed it up. I didn't realise I had to force the eclipse myself. It's how inconsiderate of me to disobey the laws and function of nature as the moon. So, in some way, that was considerate in some ways, because I didn't disobey anyone. Didn't really... What's going on? Oh, quick, close the chuffing doors. They're zombies. That's zombies. Close them. No, I've let one in. How considerate of me. That's a giraffe. I'm another giraffe. So I just bash that giraffe out of the way with my big head and eat that. It's been considerate because teach you a thing or two about giraffes, and I need to feed my giraffe children, so consider me. Number 93, match the rhythm and kick the... What? Okay. You can have that one, because I didn't like the hairy legs. Number 94. Starting to break my brain. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. On the count of... Oh, sorry. 3. Number 95. I'm getting a bit tired now of this constant brain decision. Here we go. New Year in 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah! Go a bit early. Yeah, and a bit late. So, I've got all these buttons. Don't know which one's doing what. Wait for the next song. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter, does it? It's all the same. You're at a party. Progress update. The devil. Considerate. Number 96. Just, we'll let the cars go now. Stop the bad Yakuza getting to get you. How considerate of me. Press the button to clap hands. Fair enough. Ready? Go. I've already done it, mate. I don't know what you're waiting for. It told me to already. Number 98. There's an egg. Little egg there. That's a bird, eh? So I'll just hatch. Oh, that's a person. No. Hatch for the birdie. Oh, no. That's a person. Hatch for the birdie. Hatch for the birdie. Yes. I think I got that. Number 99. Penultimate one, I hope. Congratulations on graduating. Well, that was it. I've finished it. Answer when I call your name. See, look, what it's saying here is everyone's saying, yeah, okay, yeah, that's me. And they're actually the people that worked on the game. But out the clouds, there's somebody dressed a little differently, looking out the clouds. And they're looking at the people. They're us, are we? Like, what is it? What are they saying? Are they saying that the people that made this game are like really considerate and we don't do anything out of the normal? We adhere to the rule set. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's a socially constructed rule set, you know. It's socially constructed. So who's constructing the social constructs? And have they changed over the years? Because they have changed over the years. Don't forget they have. And if they have changed over the years, why adhere to them so strongly? What is it about them that's become so, you know, ingrained, that's so important? And because when we consider real, normal, like, Elon Musk, yeah, he's not my favourite person in the world, is he? But, oh, hello, what? Hello, class reps, stand, bow, goodbye. Elon Musk does things a little bit differently. He doesn't sit down and say, look, this is how you've made cars all the way, so if I want to make cars, I've got to do that. He's like, how else could I do it? Could I do it differently? Be a bit outside the box? And, you know, I'm a crying baby. I'm scared. I've realised how to walk. I just know it. I'm the baby. Can I buy a laptop? No. I'm crawling. Dad and Mom. Can I walk for Dad? Should just go to Mom. Oh, I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking. He stood up. I chuff him, I did. How considerate of me. How considerate of me. I don't know why this is happening anyway. Vaguely considerate. Oh, there you go. Look, okay, so there is a bit of a overall right. Generally considerate and understanding mediator. Got a bit of know-how, a bit of timing. I mean, I don't know if I'm good at everything or bad at everything, so I'm sort of not. I'm halfway of 1,000 of 10,000, so I'm halfway. I'm like not good at anything. I'd have thought I'd have got better than halfway. Not even halfway. So pretty bad at everything. Bad at everything. In Japan, mind, not in the rest of the world. I had things to say, and then it just took me into this, and I lost my train of thought again a little bit. I was a baby, and I was learning to stand, and then the game was over, and yeah, social constructs are made to be forgotten and changed. So Elon Musk, one of his stratagems for business, give you a quick Elon Musk breakdown, bit of a quick lowdown from the high ground. Some of the things he did. Didn't he do Napster for music? Was he involved in that? I don't know. He definitely did a bit of PayPal, didn't he? He was involved in PayPal. Then he did the cars, the electric cars, Tesla, going up to Mars and all sorts. The concepts that he's kind of worked with is, look, technology's moving on quick, isn't it? Technology's moving on quick. We've got different new materials and modern internet and stuff. Look at your existing but quite established and lucrative market. Look at your established and lucrative market. With Napster, it's music. With the banks, it was money. You know, PayPal. Look at what they're doing with this new technology. They're going to need a different setup. You can't do your old CD sales on the internet. You can, but it's just, you know, these days it's a different setup, isn't it? It's downloads and stuff. You're not going to get your old £10 note and use it on the old internet. You've got to have your internet money. Like, we need new ways to attack these traditional markets, these traditional giants that you think you can't take on the banks. Don't be ridiculous. You can't take on the automotive industry. What you're going to do is start your own car factory. Start your own car factory and take on the giants of the automotive industry. What a silly idea. But if you come at it from a different angle, if you think outside the box, you know, if you're prepared to sort of say, well, no, I don't care what you're doing. Let's say we start from now. And this is what Elon Musk does. He talks about it. He talks about first principles, they call it. But I like to think, let's say you start from now. Let's say you haven't got any cars, right? And you start from now. What are we going to do? First principles, they call it. We're going to have wheels. We're going to have wheels, are we? We could have rotor blades if you want. We could have flying cars now. So, you know, even that first obvious decision isn't obvious anymore. You're going to use petrol engines, of course, because we all use petrol. No, we're not. We're going to say, starting from now, what's the best technology we have? Well, we've got like batteries and, you know, electrics, better for the environment, better for lots of reasons. We could use that, you know. Start from now. How should we build this thing? Well, we've got a factory and people hammer out the things. Well, start from now. What, you know, maybe a robot does it. I don't know. What's the best we could do? Let's put that all down on the drawing board and let's see if we can... What does our car look like now? Does it look different to the automotive industry? Well, yeah, it looks totally different. Well, then let's start building them in a factory and let's take on the industry, because they're dinosaurs and we're the new blood that's going to change things. And you want to be first, not last. That's Elon Musk's principle. It happened with the money and the PayPal. You know, the old PayPal. I'm sure he was involved with that, wasn't he? I don't know if he was involved with Napster or not, but same principle for Napster. You know, here's your music industry. Here's a new technology. It's going to happen. Let's see how we can, starting from now, if you were going to start selling music on the internet, distributing music on the internet, starting from now, you know, whatever, that can be applied. And it, again, NASA, the space thing, starting from now, how would you go up into space? Well, maybe your rockets need to be reusable, maybe there's different principles, whatever, you know, let's get it done. So that same sort of principle, about social constructs, I like to think of it, I like to talk about Christmas in a way. When we talk about these things, I like to think about Christmas because it's the most obvious example. You know, it's different all over the world, of course. There's a good start. It's not Christmas the same all over the world, no. But it's Christmas. You've got to have a tree and a turkey and give each other presents. And maybe that has to happen in a certain order in the day. Maybe you have to have a certain traditional thing on the telly. Might change for different people. Maybe it's the Queen's speech. Maybe you have to take a walk with your family. Maybe you don't. Maybe some people like to have a certain dessert and some people don't. Maybe they used to have what they call a Christmas pudding, and maybe these days you don't bother with the Christmas pudding because nobody likes it and you have something different. Maybe we have a turkey because a certain monarch had a turkey, and before that it was a goose. And maybe you've got a tree because someone once brought a tree involved, got a tree in. We haven't even mentioned Father Christmas and Santa Claus, the fact that he started out green and went red, and, you know, maybe Coca-Cola was involved, and, you know, you got all this sort of stuff, yeah? Look it up on the internet, traditions of Christmas, Victorian Christmas, type that in, Victorian Christmas. It looks different to today, doesn't it? Of course. Because traditions, social constructs, the way we all have to behave, because that's how it's done, because it's the way we do it around here. That's just up for grabs. It's just up for change. It's just, if you want to do it differently in your house, you do it differently in your house. And social constructs of, like, you know, you have to marry certain kinds of people and you're not allowed to, you know, well, that's all gone out of the way, hasn't it? You can just, you know, social constructs. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of adhering to social constructs all the time. I know how they help in certain ways, and what this game has tried to sort of point out in certain ways is that, hey, you know, if you go up in the wrong escalator, you walk up the down escalator, you're causing trouble for everyone else as well as yourself. Absolutely, you know, I get that. But other things like, you know, where do you like to sit? Where do you like to shit? Other things like that are just less important and more important about your own freedom and ability to express that freedom, even though it's kind of being stifled by other people's conformity. So I don't know where I sit on the, you know, I'm not happy to definitely win this game, maybe. I don't know where I sit on these issues. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. I mean, you look at something like the war in Ukraine. There are some people who have decided to all leave, and there are some people who have decided to stay and fight. You know, that's two different social constructs there immediately. And they kind of give the idea that, oh, women and children can get on the train, men should stay and fight. There's a social construct. I mean, should you stay and fight against the might of the Russian army? Well, it's noble, and, like, absolutely, like, I see the nobility in that. And I'm British, and, you know, our country stood up to the Nazis. I didn't have to do it. I wasn't there. I didn't get I'm not claiming the glory. I'm not, you know, taking the fault of history either for the things that people from my country did. It's not my country. Is it my country? Is Japan your country? It's a social construct, isn't it? Have we got, because somebody drew lines around it and somebody says, I'm the king of this place and you can be the king of that place, and I just get born where I get born, and then it's a social construct. Am I Chinese? Am I Japanese? Am I English? Am I Indian? You know, because my dad was born in Delhi, does that make me part Indian? Or am I just English, or am I British? And, like, you know, where do we sit on these lines? I actually think it's ridiculous. It's just ideas in our heads, put there by other people with ideas, written down in books and said, like, these are the chuffing ideas, these are the ones we're going with. But, you know, they're just Christmas trees. They're just, like, whether you have your presents at 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, or whether you even give each other presents, whether you have the presents on the day after, or whether this year we're not doing presents until the January sales because it just seems better to get them cheaper. Like, you know, the other year we didn't care at all. We just wanted to know that our nan was going to be, you know, was going to be okay. Like, I just, you know, we've gone through COVID. That's changed our social construct. So I don't know how much I think they're good things, and I don't know. You know, I can see how they're important. How, you know, get down the escalator and stuff. And I'm the one on the escalator saying, stay to the right, because I want to move past quick sometimes. You know, if I see you stepping out of line and it's making us all, giving us all trouble, I'm the one that will say, oh, step back into line. As well as the one with the Mohican. I'm the one with the Mohican who, like, you know, has his hair cut like a chuffing piff wizard. I don't know. I'm sure you are too. I'm sure you are too. Empathy, look, I'm sure you are too. I'm sure we all have it in us to sort of say, hang on, this isn't for me, or I really like this. I don't care what you say, I do like this. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine for you to not like me. It's fine for you to not like it, and it's fine for me to like it. But for you to not like me because I like it, that's where it gets a bit like, it's not a social construct there. Is it, or is it? It's like my theory of human rights. It's like an ideology that I believe in. I think it's bigger than a social construct, because I think it can traverse and sublimate other social constructs. I think it doesn't matter which country you're from, or which, you know, like whether the can rides around in the bus or who stops it is one thing, but like picking someone up when they've fallen, that's another. Like, I don't care if you're from this country or that country. Like, we all should share our successes and help those in their failings and losses, shouldn't we? Like, we all should, you know, we all share the same human condition. It doesn't matter whether you're speaking a different language and can describe it differently or not. Yeah, some social constructs, I suppose, are useful. Others are just like absolute chuff. And I've never allowed anyone to say, because it's a social construct, you should adhere to it. Like, you can do what you want, and I'll do what I want. I mean, that's very American of me, isn't it? You know, your social constructs can be your social constructs. I'm not saying I'm going to, like, take a gun into a theatre. Probably wouldn't do that. You know, there are certain social constructs that are like, okay, that's way out of, you know, let's not do that, eh? But, you know, you're not allowed to bring your own popcorn in here. You've got to buy it from our establishment. Just chuff off, mate. Leave me with my sweeties. I'd order a chuffing Chinese meal if I want. Now that you've told me I can't, I will. I'm bringing it in here. I've paid my money. It's time to rave. Get out my way. Consider its rankings: common sense, specified knowledge, spatial awareness, group dynamics. I mean, I don't know what. Commonly understood social manners and etiquette. This is the first step in being more considerate. I suppose, yeah, look, that's a good point. Knowing what the generalised rules for society would be and being able to guess them. So if everyone looks around that way, you look around that way. I stuffed that ranking up a bit by dancing like Michael Jackson. But, you know, if everyone sits down when the buzzer goes off, there's a really good example of this. It's a social experiment they do. I'm not going to get it up on YouTube because I can't guarantee. I'm prepared it, so I can't guarantee it. But what they do is you go in, you say, you're here to do an experiment. Can you fill in this form and wait in the waiting room? So you go in the waiting room and you've got your form. You sit down next to 3 other people and you're filling in the form. And then the buzzer goes off. You don't know what the buzzer is. You know, no one told you that. The buzzer goes off and they all stand up. You're filling in your form. And then the buzzer goes off and they all sit down. And you're filling in your form. And then the buzzer goes off and quite a lot of people, like more than not, like 75% of people, I don't know the exact number, but like people they just fall into line. They're standing up. The buzzer's going off. I'll stand up as well and carry on filling out my form. They don't realise that that's the experiment. And then at the end of filling in the form, they say, thank you very much. You know, you can go now. And they're like, oh, aren't we going to do the experiment? And then we're like, well, that was the experiment. The fact that you stood up when everyone else stood up with no instruction, you just did it because they're doing it. That, you know, proves something. Well, it proves that you conform to ideas and social constructs in a way. But also, well, it's a different idea here from Japan. It's a different idea. It's saying that commonly understood social manners and etiquette allows, like, it's like an innate human intelligence to be able to recognize when the group is behaving in it. Now, this is really interesting. I love this. This is a brilliant game then. Do I adhere to groupthink? I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm not into the group thing. I learned in sociology you have this theory of in-groups and out-groups, Stanley Cohen theories, where basically, this is big face as well, theories of groups. It's a bit savage, it's a bit horrible. You must recognise this from your life, because we all fall into groups at some point, and we're all part of groups, or more often are not part of groups and see ourselves as the outsider and get victimised maybe by a group will point at the outsider and say, look at you, you're different to us, you don't wear those same shoes as us, you've not got the same clothes as us, you're not the same, you're different to us, you don't talk the same as us, you don't get it, you're not us. And what that does is it bonds the group. They've got a common enemy and they all think the same about that thing, and by showing you what you're not, you don't have the same shoes. Oh yeah, I've got the same shoes. That's the thing that makes us the group then, It highlights your differences and therefore highlights the commonalities within the group. So people do it like unthinkingly. It's a subconscious drive. It's some part of group psychology that in-group members will kind of bully out-group members. There's in-groups and out-groups. You can be in the group or not. And also it means it's difficult for you to join a group because they don't want you in their group, because we've got our group, you're an outsider. So I've always found that in life is that I've quite often been a person that has said, okay, I'll join the drama club, and then gone along to the drama club and said, I'll join let's see if we can make some new friends at drama club. And they always say go to new things and make new friends. I joined the art society, I make some new friends, but it wasn't so bad at the art society. But I certainly remember a certain drama club was an example where a group of people already knew each other and they were friends and they had their social group. Another thing was a quiz group. I went a quiz night thing when I was younger. I'm not in your group, am I? Obviously, I didn't spend all this time together with you as children or whatever. I'm the outside member of the. Do you know what I mean? Even in just subtle group psychology, I was never going to be able to join their group and become their big friend. They in a way, me being there bonded them more as a group, because here's someone that's not in our group that's a bit of an outsider that you can sort of look at each other with confusement when they don't, say the thing you expected or behave the way you do. Do you know what I mean? Like in groups and out groups. So I'm not a big fan of that, but it's highlighted in this game, Super Nintendo Switch. I'm not a big fan of the way groups behave, but it does happen. It is natural human psychology and behaviour. Another example is like prisons and stuff. People fall into these self-protective group dynamics, self-protective hierarchies. You don't step out of line and make a big fuss because you can get hurt. So you sort of fall into a position in a group, and quite often, unless you're the alpha, and alpha and beta and all that is a bit ridiculous these days. There's a bit more to it. There's a bit more nuance than that. There's a bit more nuance than being the alpha male, but. Quite often though, if you're not on that top rank, if you're not, if rather than being threatened by violence, you threaten with violence, then in a situation like a prison, you have to fall into line in this hierarchy, in this group, don't you? So these things happen. So it's commonly understood social manners and etiquette. Being intelligent enough to understand the social manners and etiquette allows you to fall into line. If you don't understand the social manners and etiquette, it's either intelligence or it might be more nuance because you haven't learned these things. I don't know what Japan has to offer. I don't know. So when I'm out of sync with it, I don't know I'm being out of sync because I haven't learned. It's okay to not know things and to then learn them, but the ability to quickly understand them and to take them on board and then fall into line is the first step in manners, as well as what I would consider a more negative, falling into line with the, en masse, being part of the conglomerate homogenized group, which homogenization of your behavior is maybe something I instinctively kick against, even though homogenization of clothing and lifestyle is seen as a social positive in a way, isn't it? Specified knowledge was disappointing. I don't know a lot of... It's an essential weapon for being more considerate. You can really make a blunder if you don't know the specified knowledge. And I guess the way Luke was here telling me little tips and tricks, that is on the part of other people as well, because if you really are unaware, you don't know what you're unaware of. You don't know things you don't know that you don't know them. So it's all right in a way to be ignorant of things that you don't know. Having someone there to point out your ignorances and saying, like, you know, did you know this? That can really help, can't it? So yeah, I get that. Fair enough. Spatial awareness, sharpness for sense of direction and maintaining the right amount of distance. That was all those social cues where I get that one. Knowing your place helps being considerate of others. Yeah, and yeah, but also no, and no. Just because you're all standing that way doesn't mean I want to stand that way. Distance is a bit interesting in today's post-COVID world. Group dynamics, above average. The knowledge to understand the role others expect you to play in the group. Your cooperative nature leads to smooth teamwork. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because playing roles is a bit different from social constructs. It's quite different. It's a social construct, a role, it can be. Or it could be a, you know, personal construct, the way you see that role and, you know, the positives that it... Like if you're the captain, it doesn't mean that you get to... Well, it does mean you get to push people around and tell them what to do. It doesn't mean that. It means that the responsibility stops with you. So, you know, you have to make sure that everything's being done to high standards. You can't just say, oh, well, I'll let that go. I'll let somebody else do that. You know, you've got to pick up the mop sometimes. But also it means that other people's well-being sort of comes before yours, because your role is to make sure their well-being is being maintained. You know, their human rights and all these sort of things. You know, if you're the captain, then it's not just all top deck sitting in... It shouldn't be champagne in the champagne bar, should it? It should be, you know, not feeling content unless everyone's content, sort of thing. I don't know. So roles, you know, they can bring out good things. Like if you weren't the captain, maybe you'd say, well, let someone else do it. You know, I don't have to do it. Let the captain worry about that. But maybe if you're the captain, you wouldn't sleep for worrying about other people. Maybe that brings something out of you that, like, you know, you can do more social good if you're given a role and a duty, maybe. And maybe it's just our duty and our role to be a good role model in society. Maybe that is important, because kids that exist, you can't stop them existing. You can't stop them seeing things. So maybe you should be a good role model. I do my best, I hope. Which is why if I'm going to smoke, I'm going to do it off camera, you chuffer. Don't tell anyone. That's a really interesting thing, though, isn't it? Group dynamics. You know, I was just slating the group. I was just saying how bad group dynamics are and how they work against kindness in a way. But it can also help, can't it, to play your role. Sympathy. Whether or not you can put yourself in another's shoes and understand how they feel. I just think I'll be all right at that. 49 average. I think it was an instinctive, like we said at the start, there was a lot of instinctive reacting. And I think that's kind of cool. A bit like the Rorschach test. Instinctive reacting. Are you instinctively sympathetic? Maybe not. Maybe it took me a bit of time sometimes. Where should I sit? How do they feel? But I do get there. Give me a bit of time. The game didn't give me enough time. Adulting, the ability to step back and take in a situation, then assume the roles others don't want to do, allowing everyone to better enjoy themselves. That, you know, I didn't, like I've been saying about myself over this, I've been talking about me a lot, but, you know, I haven't always been the adult. I've always been who I wanted. But since I got a bit older and ran my own business, had people working, you know, with me that I was responsible for, I don't know, maybe being a dog parent teaches you this as well. Yeah, I don't mind assuming that role. It's a bit of self-sacrifice in that as well, isn't there? Which we saw on Mental Health Monday the other day. Wasn't necessarily that good for you. Or noble, necessarily. Information integration. The power to instantly find the right meaning from fragmented hints with no context. There was a lot of that. Average. I'm average. I mean, I did this honestly with no real... Unbelievable. Now, I've thrown it. Bear in mind, I've skewed it because I did dance like Michael Jackson, didn't I? And once I sat on someone just by pressing the button without realising what was going to happen. Information integration, mate. You didn't get your information integrated quick enough, did you? Well, if I'd known it was going to be like an IQ test, if I'd known there was going to be rankings at the end, and at the end I was going to have to show them and talk about them, I might have tried a bit harder. And now it's done. I can't do it again. You can't do a psychological test twice like that. Not now, it'd be cheating. So it's a bit of a shame, but hopefully you can imagine these with slightly higher numbers, because I feel like I would have done better. Speed, poor. The ability to immediately make decisions in any situation. The speed to understand and react to situations. That's not fair. I came to this intending to take my time and talk about these situations. That was my intent. So the poor speed result is actually a good result. Look at it in a different way, you see. Have a bit of sympathy. Rhythm. Talent for following rhythm as instructed. I deliberately chuffed that one up. Being flexible with the ability to go with the flow. Being useful in being considerate. Being flexible with the ability to go with the flow will be useful in being considerate. Being flexible with the ability. So they're saying, like, don't always go with the flow. Know when to go with the flow. Good call. Good call. Having that rhythm and knowing how to break the rhythm and step out of the rhythm, you know, that's important, yeah. Interval, 43. Interval. Whether good and bad intervals. Whether or not you understand the best timing when acting in a series of events. That was cutting the ribbons. I was doing all them wrong. I do understand the correct timing, which is why I deliberately do it wrong, because it's funny. You can't get these moments back. Really nice to have these results at the end. That's a really good talking point. And if the game didn't take quite as... I mean, the game isn't that long. The game's not that long. But I think this is the sort of game that you could sit down with a friend or someone that you were trying to get to know better, maybe even on a date, and play. Like, just a bit of fun watching someone play it, and then having a chat about how they feel about their results. How do you feel being above average at common sense, but pretty average, if not poor, at everything else? Average. Should be above average in everything, mate. Sympathy and adulting. I should be off the chart, mate. 29 for speed. Get off you. Get off me. Get off. Get off. Wow. Now there's loads. Consider it together. Oh, exactly. As a date as well. Look at that. Consider it together. What a brilliant concept. What a great dating game. Extras. Chapter mode. Secrets. The past you. So I suppose you play it through a few times, you get different results. Chapters. What's this? Secrets. Oh, I didn't get any secrets. I got something. Dry skin. How an oil tycoon feels. Hanging up after one ring. I don't know, man. They're like... That's like game achievements that I can't really... like... I pressed consider it again by mistake. I shouldn't have done that. It's gone. It's a really nice game, isn't it? It's a really nice game. KUUKIYOMI. KUUKIYOMI. Super Nintendo Switch eShop. Let's see if I can remember that. I bet I can't remember that now. Hey, look, I'm nearly the same colour as the eShop. Hey, look at that. It's nice, isn't it? Nice orange. It's supposed to be red. Ended up being a bit orange in the old eShop. And I just want to... Is it in current offers? Because I don't think I'd have bought it if it wasn't in the offers. Just want to get this as the backdrop for just saying a little bit about the game. Current offers. What's bowling doing at the top? Who's buying bowling? Come on. Real boxing. I really wish they would get that new... you know, EA Champions Boxing. I just think that now's not the time to talk about boxing. Getting distracted while I'm looking for this one thing. Just so I can use it as the background. Look at all these stuff on here. Look at all this stuff. Northgard's on sale. I've got that on physical copy. It's a brilliant game. You'd enjoy that, you would. There it is. See, I knew it was on sale, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. So get this on sale on the Super Nintendo Switch right now. Get it on sale on the Super Nintendo Switch right now. I'm the fella that waits 2 years to play a game so that you can save, like, you know, £4.50 on it. Super Nintendo Switch, look. So... stretch. My immediate thoughts, I mean, I could write something on this, but my immediate thoughts are what an intelligent and clever game that talks. I kind of talked about the themes, didn't I? I talked about those group ideas, Stanley Cohen and his ideas about group psychology, sociology. Like, at least it makes you think, isn't it? I wonder if it's selling Japan to me. I wonder if it makes Japan seem more or less appealing, because having to worry about social situations, that's a 90s, that's an 80s. Not even the 80s, is it? That's a 70s thing, 60s thing. I know people who watch us on YouTube, talking about Carla, specifically maybe, who, you know, haven't given a chuff about what other people think about, you know, social chuffing. They've been changing social dynamics over the years themselves. They've been changing them for the better, I'll have you know, for the better. You know, people who have been actively changing social dynamics for the better over the years. I think in our Western world, you see someone a bit different, and you sort of go, all right, chuff it then, these days. Honestly, even, and this is a bit random, so I'll just big face it, what the hell, I'll just say it. I was having a chat with someone else, they were doing a stream, and they were saying some actually quite rude things about gay people, frankly, and I was saying to them, look, you're saying these things, but they're not really the things to think, you know. It seemed, honestly, like, just not, you know, because they pick up on their chat, and the chat was going, I was like, you know, I was in the chat, and again, it's one of these group things. Everyone else was like, funny what you said, and I was saying, like, actually, that's not funny. You know what I'm like. I was like, actually, that's not funny. It's quite, you know, kind of rude and a bit backward. Like, people don't think like that anymore. Like, if you do, then you're missing the point. You're missing the trick. And they actually had like, it's not often this happens, but they had a interaction with me. You know, they'd said, oh, Battery Exhausted has said this, and Gravekipper said this, and I don't agree with them. I think this, Gravekipper, I think that. And so I was then able to say, oh yeah, but have you thought this? We thought this, and they said their thing, and I was like, I don't know if we're getting anywhere here, and I don't really want to start a big argument. Like, I actually watch this person because I find them interesting, entertaining, and I don't agree with everything they do or say. In fact, some of their like ethics are not the same as mine, but some of them are quite congruent with mine. So we're all different people, and I give them a bit of the benefit of the doubt because they've been through a hard time in their life, and I see them on a positive journey of change. Yeah, so like, I'm there on this journey with them in a way as a supporter, or whatever you'd call it, a viewer. So I want to help their change. So I, you know, put my little pennyworth in every now and then. Bottom line was, someone once said to me, and I think it was really funny. Like, I've never had a problem with like other people of different what do you call it, sexualities or genders or anything like genders. People are like, what do you mean genders? You mean women? No, I mean, like, you know, all this LBGT, you know, I don't care. You're just people. Everyone's people. Like, I'm not like, oh, is this person or this kind of person and that kind of person. Like, I'd have never had a problem with that. Like, never. So, but I think, because I worked in hairdressing, and like, you maybe meet a lot more. Anyway, I worked with this guy. He was gay, and the conversation had come up in some way. I think in some negative way. Not me doing it. Like, and he said basically, bottom line, some people are gay. Just get over it. Like, I think, you know, he'd said that to this person, and they were like, you know, well, what do you do with that? And I said that on the chat. I put that in the chat. I said, look, basically, my mate used to say, some people are gay, get over it. And this streamer, this person, they laughed. They said, look, that's a good shout, what you said there. Like, they didn't like actively say, well done, you've won the argument, or it's not an argument. We were just talking about ideas. And like, I was saying, like, you know, I support you on some things, but this thing, I don't like the way you were talking, so, you know, this is a different idea. And since then, I think they've stopped it. They've actually got a little, you know, one of those rainbow heart badges, you know, visible in their stream now. So good on them, I think. I think they kind of understood what I was trying to drive at there, and hopefully on their journey moving forward, like, that was a good positive thing. Where does this conversation come from? It's just a thing that happened about being in groups, isn't it? And speaking out, thinking about social constructs, groups. Don't know where I got that from. Yeah, so this is a really good game because it makes you think about the way you think. It makes you think about the way other people think. I don't know if Japan is like, and now I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I should say, well, extrapolate from this game something about the whole of Japan. I don't think that's fair, is it? Because like, whilst it does use some Japanese social constructs, isn't part of what we've learned that social constructs are kind of just strange ideas that you get to find them as normal because you do it all the time, but it's different elsewhere. Like what is kind of normal to some people, food is kind of normal to everyone, isn't it? We're all kind of used to our food. You eat the same sort of food. There'll be people that come around your house, even from the same country, even from the same neck of the woods, and they look in your fridge and they'll be like, oh, this is different to what I got in my fridge. You go around your mate's house and they don't even drink the same brand of thing. Do you know what I mean? Even that, like, we just got these ideas, haven't we? And they're just different, interesting ideas. So it's cool to go along with them and to have fun and, celebrate. We can sing the carols and have fun. But if someone said to you, if you don't sing the carols, you're wrong. And, you should be forced to sing carols. And everyone should sing carols every year. And like, if you want to keep it up, you keep it up. If you want to do that, you do that. But we're not going to start pushing other people around because of traditions, because of silly old ideas. And that goes, taking it back, web of a browser. Look at the Black Country Museum. We don't still go around on horses and carts, do we? We don't still treat people with disrespect for having ideas different to our own. And we don't still force people to adhere to ideas that were socially ascribed. Back then it would have been even more rigid. The church and, Victorian ideals, Edwardian, don't show any ankle. Don't show any ankle. These days we've done away with all that. So, in doing away with all that, we can't then take on new social constructs and norms that prevent us from expressing ourselves as individuals. Strange, isn't it? Strange, the old world. And at the same time, certain things like don't walk in the chuffing road, they kind of make sense, don't they? Have that common sense to know when it's important to stand up and be counted, and when just towing the line a little bit gets everyone through. And I've been guilty of this over the course of my life. I've been told, can you just toe the line? Can you just can you just get on with it and stop causing the trouble? But sometimes, who are you causing the trouble for? If it's just other normal people that just want to get down the escalator, then that's where it's time to toe the line and not cause the trouble. If you are being forced down escalators without thinking, and escalators become escalators, and you forgot where you're towing the line, and now you just do what you're told. I get it. Maybe it's time to stand up, but if the train's waiting and you've just got to, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, some social situations, toe the line. I get it. And other times we get our hand right up in that vending machine and we just rip everything out. I'm not provoking looting. It's just a joke about what I did when I was a kid. Tying everything up in the stream, tying everything up in a nice neat bow. And how long have we been rolling for? Chuffing ages, forever. 3.5 hours. That's a good long stream, that one. I thought this would just be a little cheeky chappy. It's gone on a bit, but we've got some good thinking out of it, so I like that. And my tummy is rumbling, so I will see you anon. It is now the weekend. And the next thing we've got lined up, which we're going to be doing on Twitch, on the Super Nintendo Switch, on Twitch. The next thing we're going to be doing, because we're on YouTube today. Next thing we're going to be doing, not YouTube Pokemon Arceus, not Twitch Arceus, no, not that. Graveyard Keeper. The Grave Kipper. The Graveyard Keeper, the Grave Kipper. We're going to be having a look. I don't know about how expansive the game is. I've got the special edition on the sale. We're going to be having a look at some Grave Kipper appropriate gaming. We'll do it for the weekend. I'm not promising we're going to become a Graveyard Keeper stream. I don't know how big and expansive it is. If it's a one day, in, out, shebang like we've just done with Considerate, great. I imagine it's not. I imagine it takes a bit longer, so we might bring it in and out. We're back with Pokemon probably on Thursdays. We're back with Mental Health every Monday, 8 PM GMT. And then we've got gameplay in the week of whatever's on the table that week. We've got YouTube stream about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, talking about politics and things and whatever's happening. That's YouTube, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, GMT. Then on Twitch in the evening, we should play a bit of game. Play a bit of game on a few evenings. We've got, look, the Gardens Between to get onto at some point. Play a bit of game. And for the weekends, I get to sit here all the time and play all the time, so we get a bit more of it. So we have a big crack. So Graveyard Keeper. What is it? Maybe tonight on Twitch. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. After I've had my dinner, we'll see how I feel, won't we? After I've had my dinner and walked the dog, we'll see. I've done 3.5 hours, so, you know, don't you start pushing. Don't you start pushing. Cue nicely. It's your social obligation. I know I told you to disobey, refuse, resist. Yes, I know my enemies. They're the teachers that taught me to fight me. Conformity, compromise, hypocrisy, all of which are American dreams. All of which are American dreams. All of which are American dreams. Yes, I know my enemies. They're the teachers that taught me to fight me. You know, if you don't know, you better get to know. You don't grow up listening to Rage Against the Machine in their hate, like in their prime. You don't grow up listening to Rage Against the Machine in their prime, do you? To forget that, yes, I know my enemies. They're the teachers that taught me to fight me. You don't grow up and you're listening to Zach De La Rocha. You don't end up at Wembley Arena one day in the future, just like, you know, just, I couldn't believe that one day in my life I'd be stood in Wembley Arena, stood next to me mate Chris, like just going fucking mad about it. Going, I'm there. He's on the stage. Zach, Tom Morello on the guitars. Wow, 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 wow. Come with it now. And I'm there. I had to wait for you to come all the way to Wembley, but you fucking came, didn't you? The Battle of Wembley. You know, I'm there. That's where my heart is. That's where my soul ignites. So, you know, you don't learn these things only to discard them, do you? You don't understand yourself and your soul only to discard that. No, but at the same time, you know, I have to fit in, don't you, sometimes? You have to fit in, toe the line. I don't know. So if you can't be good, then you're naughty. It's not the no, it's not black lipstick, and it's not the usually we've got a filter on that makes the green screen work, but that's not that on my lips now. That's just actually chocolate. I drink a lot of this hot chocolate. Get it on my lips for the broadcast. Get it all on my lips. It's not socially constructive. You shouldn't have it all on your lips. It's not socially. You're not allowed to touch it in there now and do all that. You're not allowed to rub your face. You're not even allowed to get all your gob in your hands these days and rub it all on your face these days. You know, these days after the old COVID. What are they thinking? You know, you're not even allowed. You're not even allowed to gob in your hands and rub it all on your face, are you, these days? So you be good, my little podcast. You be good. And if you can't be good, then you're not really naughty. You're a chain breaker. Chain breaker, bad. Oh, everyone fall apart, bad. But you know, unique linker, special hooker. Get us somewhere special we weren't there before. You know, you can be a mold breaker. They broke the mold when they made you, didn't they? They broke the mold. They say that meaning the mold. It's a funny one that they break the mold when they made you, because sometimes they say it to be derogatory, meaning you're a bit weird, you're a bit different. They've broken the mold and it's come out a bit weird, so you've come out a bit different. They broke the mold when they made you, but what it actually means is that once back in the day when you're making expensive artwork, and this goes way back, you create a cast and then a mold of it, and then you create your artwork, maybe out of bronze, and then you don't want to make like 50 bronzes all the same. You want it to be unique, so you smash up the mold. You smash it. No one else can do it again. You've done your artwork. You've carved it. You've done it in the clay, and you've made your wax, and then you've done your mold, and you've done your bronze, and you've got your bronze, and then you smash the mold, because that's one unique thing. And I'm not doing loads of them. We're not pouring 10 of them. Smash the mold. One unique thing. We broke the mold when we made you. It means you're special and unique, and so special and unique that we're not going to churn out loads of you. Like, you know, we've crafted something special here, and we want to celebrate it and allow it to be itself. That's the main thing. So you're not naughty if you can't be good. You're not naughty. You just, super. So you be good, and we're back either tonight at gone midnight with some gameplay, which I don't know about that. Although I do want to play the game, so you can't stop me if I actually just turn up on Twitch at random times. But we are back tomorrow in the daytime-ish on Twitch playing Gravekeeper. So you be good, my little puckos. You be good, and if you can't be good, you're also good in a way.